Salve omnis, it's your boy, Lukael. Welcome back to the Forgotten City. This is episode 5. It might be the finale. I don't really know. You guys will know when you click this video, but I feel like I'm pretty close to the end. We've already seen one of the endings. We have 3 more endings to go. Last episode was quite the busy one. We did a whole bunch of stuff. We finally discovered the secret in the palace, and it turned out to be a pretty horrific one. Navia had been peeling away at the gold of all these statues and creating all these creatures. And we also found out that Sentilla actually remembers every loop, and he's kind of like been behind some of this. It's a really great twist. It's one I did not see coming. I really sent me reeling. Like, I couldn't believe they pulled that one off, but it's a really interesting spin. And so that's what the first ending was just killing Sentilla, putting an end to the time loop, creating a paradox. But now we have to figure out what the other endings are. We have 3 more. I have like at least 2 that I have a good idea what they could be, but we'll have to see how it goes. So thank you so much for joining me today, and without any further ado, let's jump right back in. Alright, we're back in. Now, obviously the last thing we did was kill Sentilla, so after that we didn't really have a chance to save. So it brought me back to the last save I had made, which was, I guess, just before shooting Sentilla with the bow. I don't remember how far we are in this cycle, but while editing the previous episode, I took note of like a few different things I wanted to try. One thing that I had kind of forgotten about, because it's been a while since I saw it, was there is this algae here in the lake, which leads to this little platform there. Now, at the time I had no idea, but now I know that I can use the golden bow on this. And now I can climb up here, see what's in this chest. Abandoned chest. 500 denarius and some arrows. Okay. So oh, and some wine. Okay. So nothing too crazy. This is all stuff we already have at this point in the game. So that's that. I also remembered the goose eggs that we found earlier in the playthrough. And I was like, why do you find some goose eggs? Because you never really use them, right? Right, see, it's because you have these little golden butterflies here. And while editing my videos, I remembered these. And I was like, oh, the reason they put those there, because I guess you're supposed to transform them. And then they become golden goose eggs. Goose eggs turn to gold. These look valuable, so maybe we can like sell these to Decius. I'm not really sure why you would want to do that, just to get some money, I guess. Alright, so we have a few more things to do. One thing I was considering was in the conversation with Octavia, it's possible to blackmail her to get more information about the plaque. Because you can kind of like threaten her to expose the fact that she's a Christian. And obviously I didn't want to do that. Like, I don't want to do something mean like that, but if we're going to be restarting the cycle, I guess we could try it. I think one of the endings might be to escape with Sentilla. But to do that, we will need the key that Sentilla has. Now, does Sentilla keep this key hidden somewhere in the city, or does he keep it on his own self? Because if I was gonna say I could kill him and then take the key and then escape with Sentilla, but I can't do that, because if I kill him, it creates a paradox and then you get the first ending. So that's not... Where are you running to?
Salve, friend. It seems you've joined us at a very
Oh, he's
sad
already
time.
jumped?
We lost a troubled young man today. Ulpius was his name. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far?
I wonder where she was running to. I'm feeling a bit on edge.
Really, on edge? Is that supposed to be funny? A man just tragically fell
I shouldn't have
to his
said
death,
that.
and you're making puns.
Sorry, I didn't mean it like that.
Sorry, I'm just a little sensitive at the moment. My mistake, friend.
Okay, I was worried she
But
wouldn't
in
want to
any
talk to
case,
me anymore.
If you're not on edge, you've not been paying attention. But on the bright side, once you've been here a few months, it's... well, It's slightly less terrifying anyway.
Someone told me in the comments that apparently Octavia is voiced by Harry's ex in Disco Elysium, which is like a pretty funny little piece of trivia, you know, that connects these two playthroughs on the channel. I never heard her voice like long enough to really recognize it, but that's pretty funny. So I can ask about the Roman plaque.
Even if I had seen it, and I'm not saying I have, I couldn't in good conscience give it to you. That's all I'll say.
Why not? Perhaps the magistrate would like to know about your beliefs?
What you're doing is disgusting, and it's not going to work. Shame on you.
Shame on me. Okay, sorry.
Oh, so soon? Well, be gentle on yourself.
She's thinking it well.
We're all dealing with a tragic loss today.
What is with my Discord sounds getting through OBS? I thought she was gonna get angry at me and wouldn't want to talk to me anymore, but she's okay. Let's go talk to Sentilla again, who's back there. But even if I free her, you won't be able to escape. Sentilla, I've changed my mind. I do want to run away with you.
You're back. Have you come to let me go this time?
Yes. Let's get out of here together. But I don't have the key, so how can we escape?
Oh, thank you. Now follow. Wait. Did you hear that? He's
No.
here. He must be coming in through the door behind me. You distract him. Stay right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can use.
Oh, we couldn't knock him out. Wait, can I save? We could knock him out and steal his key without killing him.
With Sentilla. Where is she?
You're human garbage, you know that?
So that is how it's going to be. Oh well, this doesn't change anything for me. So, you've discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it?
Is she going to knock him out, or like is she trying to steal the key? So you asked me to figure out who was going to break the golden rule knowing I would fail every time? You knew there was a way out and even locked up your own daughter to keep it a secret. Why? I told you I was going to break you. Right. From the moment we told him what we know, he's going to remember everything we do no matter how many times we reset the time loop. Unless we reload a save game. Like he can't remember past save games.
Of course.
I just want to keep him talking.
Succeeded. Every soul who has ever found themselves here has broken the golden rule eventually.
Or someone that
It's
was with them.
inevitable. Man will always sin sooner or later. Any idiot.
Sentilla, whatever you want to do it fast.
I might see tragedy. I saw opportunity. As I told you the first time we met, I found a way to cheat death. By reliving the same day over and over again, forever. And I will continue living long after your dust.
Yeah, but aren't you gonna get bored at some point? Like, you just keep reliving the same day? You knew there was a way out and even locked up your own daughter to keep it a secret. Why?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I have grown attached
Yeah, you've said this
to
before.
all, and as long as this day keeps repeating itself, I have found a way to prolong my life indefinitely. To cheat death. I have become, in effect, as immortal as the gods.
I just want to see her like,
Can you honestly say you would not wish the same for yourself?
let's see you cheat your way out of
Do
this.
you really think you can take on a Decurion with that flimsy little bow?
I probably could, but I'm going to let her have this one.
Who? Sentilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
Oh shit! She set him on fire. Okay, but he's gonna die. Ooh.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Escape, girl. Do it without me. I can't follow you, but
Hey, what's happening to you?
yeah,
That light.
I can't escape with her.
It's so bright.
But you know what? At least... At least he died painfully. So we got some payback on Sentius, and I guess she managed to escape. I wonder if she would have escaped. Oh, we're getting a different ending. This might be ending number 2.
Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fray. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
So the paradox happened again, except this time he's talking to us in the bats. Al Worth, I came in here to find you.
Well, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I was hoping you'd know who I am. Why would you know? Alright, because we lost our memory.
Funny you should ask. I was just reading an old tablet I found here. Well, trying. My Latin is kind of rusty, but the last entry mentioned someone with the same name. It described an event about 2,000 years ago. Someone with your name.
Right, this
appeared
is the
in
same as
city out of
before.
the shrine of Proserpina. Freed an imprisoned woman named Sentilla, who then murdered her captor, breaking some kind of ancient law. It said the attack caused golden statues to come alive, hunting down everyone in the city. And
But
turning them
then
into
I guess
gold.
she managed to escape.
Apparently, the only person to survive was Sentilla, while the stranger disappeared in a flash of light.
So the part that doesn't work with this ending and the first one we got to is if truly Sentius is never there to open the portal, we never go into the past, and then there's no way this tablet is here talking about the events of when we were in the past, right? Like this whole paradox doesn't work. Again, if time is a flat circle, we can't have been in the past because like this just got undone by creating the paradox. So how can this tablet exist? But the thing that works better in this ending than the first one is at least here, because there is a survivor in Sentilla, she would have been able to leave this tablet and recount these events for the future. Whereas in the first ending, everyone dies from the statue, so like how could anyone write this tablet telling the events of what happened? Unless Sentius? No, because Sentius is dead, so he can't create a tablet. So that first ending doesn't really seem to make sense to me.
What? You're saying you were here 2,000 years ago? I'm not sure I understand.
You found your corpse hanging from a noose. I still have the suicide note you carved into this
Let me
tablet.
see- God, why does this write? I've spent a lifetime and this is...
It was written by a different version of you. I changed the past and your fate. I helped Sentilla kill the man who opened the time portal and drew you back in time, preventing it from ever happening,
So you're
right?
saying, because a man from 2,000 years ago is dead, he never created a time portal, so I never went through it, and
It would
that's
sound
why I
completely
don't
crazy if you told
remember
someone
any
that.
of this.
They would never believe you. Now you're getting it.
I guess you saved my life then, as well as helping that poor woman to escape.
But we did doom
That's-
everyone else.
A lot to take in.
Enough talk. How about we get out of this place? Wait, are we out of the temple?
Maybe we can escape through the same aqueduct Sentilla used, if we can find it.
Right. Right. It's right here in this cistern. Follow me. So in this version, we can escape thanks to the cistern. And then we can face Karen. Ah. Oh, it brought me back here instead. Okay, okay. So whereas in the first ending, we woke up just in the city, and then Al is there too, because he was never sent to the past. Here we're just in the ruins, but we can still escape because this path is open. And I have the knowledge about it. Okay, let me save. Just in case things go wrong with Karen. Exit through the aqueduct. How is Karen going to feel about us escaping, though? We're not really supposed to escape the Underworld, right? Return to the river. Oh, there was this path behind us all along. On the left of the entrance. And it's morning! Finally some sunlight. Jeez. I feel like I've been in darkness this whole... What are you doing? Oh, of course, you're locking the path so it never happens to anyone else.
I'm gonna
Smart,
pause
smart.
here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple.
Good thinking.
You go on ahead, and I'll be there soon.
Where'd you find this hammer? Alright, he had this backpack. Probably some tools inside. How is Karen going to feel about us escaping the Underworld, though? I don't think she's going to be too happy about it. She's still there.
You're back! But you're alone. Does that mean you didn't find Al?
Point of origin. I found him. He'll be here in a moment.
Oh, what a relief. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think you'd both become trapped in there. Why don't you tell me what you discovered while we wait?
I think you know. I discovered your real name is Karen. Shine. Ooh, that's a big ass dragonfly. Watch out.
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions.
Who are you really?
You can just call me Charon, if you like. I am sorry I was not completely honest with you when we first met.
Are you
I
sorry?
do not enjoy deceiving people. Believe me, I do not. But I have learned, from 5,000 years of experience, that most people find comfort in familiarity, in gradual change, and coming to see the truth in their own time.
But like, what did she want? Why did she send us down there? What were we supposed to find? Like, were we actually dead? What truth is that?
That you died, of course. You were dead when I brought you here.
Alright, I figured.
My role, as the servant of the god of the Underworld, has always been to assist the chosen to cross the threshold from the land of the living to the land of the dead.
So, what now? How did I die?
Usually, when people do not remember how
I just
they
assumed I
died,
drowned
it is because they suffered a terrible trauma.
since she found me in the
Most
river.
souls would rather not remember. Ask yourself honestly, do you really want to know?
I feel like I do want to know. Otherwise, like if I get to live out as a soul forever in the afterlife, it would always bother me not knowing. I feel like I'd be really curious. Plus, if I'm already dead, you know, it's all in the past, I guess. So, yes.
As you wish. You were murdered.
Was I murdered by
You were
Al?
exploring an old tomb when you discovered a cache of forgotten relics, including
Oh.
2 silver coins of
Did
ancient
Al
origin.
kill me for the coins?
Unfortunately, as you emerged into daylight, you were set upon by 2 thieves. A nearby hiker saw the scuffle break out and leapt to your aid, trying
Al?
to help you recover your bounty. You both fought bravely, but
Mm.
your assailants were armed, and you were not.
That's not so
There
traumatic,
was
really.
nothing you or your ally could have done. He died instantly at the scene, and you followed a few hours later.
Damn, it's rough out there in
That man's
Italy.
name
Yeah.
was Al Worth. You were each in possession of a sacred coin called
Oh,
Kieran's
that's why
Opal
you
by
brought
some.
us specifically.
And so it was my duty to bring you here.
So you're still doing your job even after thousands of years, and like probably not that many people die in possession of these coins anymore because, you know, ancient Greece is long gone. So what have you been doing for these thousands of years if you don't have like any souls to ferry? Who's taking care of the souls that don't possess one of the coins? Is there some other god taking care of that? What's so special about these coins?
Perhaps you have heard the tales of the Greeks and Romans burying their dead with a coin in their mouths
Sure.
to pay the ferryman for passage across the river. Well, those stories contained a seed of truth, but not any coin would do. A long time ago, my master created 1,000 silver coins and had me distribute them across the world. My orders were simple. Whenever a person died in possession of a coin,
Why only
I
them?
was to locate them and ferry them
What
here.
about all the other souls? Why?
That is a question you would have to ask him, if that were still possible, in light of the path you have chosen. I am just his servant, doing his bidding.
You never thought to
Only
ask?
now, I find myself bereft of purpose. You see, the coins on you and Al were the last of the 1,000 in existence. There is nobody else to ferry here. Nobody to keep you company. After 5,000
Well, what about the coins we
years,
have?
the Underworld has finally run its course.
Hey, you get to retire. Can you return us to the land of the living? Is that not where we are right now?
I see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al!
Oh, you don't even want me to
It's
tell
so good
him?
to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. The ruins of a long-forgotten city. And there was a tablet describing an event 2,000 years ago. Supposedly, the city was destroyed when a woman murdered a tyrant with the help of, well, my new friend here. I know how crazy that sounds.
Maybe not that crazy. That woman. I don't suppose her name was Sentilla?
How could you... What?
She left a tablet of her own. I stumbled across it while I was waiting here. I think she meant for you to read it. Here, take a look.
Wow, message from thousands of years in the
I
past.
don't know what became of you, or if you'll ever read this, but I want you to know that I will never forget you, or what you did for me. It pains me that so many dear friends were not so fortunate.
Yeah.
Ulpius, Sentia, Lucretia, Horatius, Galerius, poor Dooley,
And the others, who shall not be
But
named.
please understand, their blood is on my hands, not yours.
I mean, I did help
I will
you.
live with the consequences of my actions, and all I can do is move forward, trying to show others the same compassion you showed me. I promise you that saving my life will not be for nothing. Sentilla.
Well, the thing is, we saved her life, but everyone in the city is already dead, right? So, like, did they really die? I guess their soul stopped existing as they were. Like, that's the weird thing when fiction has, like, an afterlife where you just get to keep on living. It's like, well, did you really die? Like, what did you really lose? If you get to keep existing, keep living, keep, like, eating, sleeping, having relationships, talking, like... You get to keep doing all the things you used to do when you were alive, so what does it really matter that you died, right? Like, you just get to live forever now, so... But now that the others are encased in gold, I guess they really are, like, dead and they don't get to do anything. So in that sense, we did save Sentilla's life. And yeah, it does suck for all the others, like the 20 other people that were in the city. But at the same time, if we hadn't stopped Sentius, like, who knows how many other people... Well, I was gonna say... Who knows how many people he could have done what he did to us, like me and Al, but he couldn't have done it to anyone else, right? Because she just said the 2 coins that we had, they're the last 2 coins. So we were the only ones who would be affected. So it's not that good of a thing we just did. We just doomed like 20 people in exchange for our 2 lives, which is not great. Interesting that she doesn't want us to tell Al the truth. Like, how come I get to know the truth but Al doesn't? Man, this guy like leapt to my aid. He tried to save my life. I kind of want to be honest with him, but if the god, well, she's not really a god, but if the fairy woman of the underworld asks you to kind of keep it for yourself, I guess I have to listen to her. So what are you gonna do now? You're gonna retire?
Sounds like you meant a lot to her. I'd love to hear your story, but first... You two look exhausted.
Big ass dragonfly.
Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
Alright, Karen, ferry us home. I probably shouldn't call you that. Karen, you know, don't put too much emphasis on the on, just say Karen. Reach ending 2 of 4. Alright, that was ending number 2. Nice. Ending number 3 is like right after the other ones, and then there's this very long gap until number 4. I guess number 4 is like the true ending, like the perfect ending where maybe you get to save everyone. What could number 3 be, I wonder? How many might have survived if you'd confronted the god of the underworld? That's gonna be our next step, is trying to confront Pluto / Hades. Alright. So, can I skip the credits? All right, so that was ending number 2. Pretty good ending. Definitely better than the first one. But now we need to try and get number 3. All right, so we're back here before... This is right after talking to Octavia. All right, I'm going to go talk to Decius. I want to see if I can sell these golden eggs. Whee! The game gives you like a lot of chances to collect denarius and like, yeah, there's a few things you can buy, but I guess it's to help you if you're trying to do a run where like you don't steal money ever, right? Also, I took a quick look at the achievements for this game, and there is an achievement that is to beat the game in a single loop, or like without doing any loop. And the first thought that came to my mind is like you start a new game, you select the background where your guy starts with a gun, and like as soon as you see Sentius, you just shoot Sentius in the face, get the first ending. I guess that would be like the fastest way to finish this game. Yeah, I would be kind of curious to just start a new game, get the gun, shoot Sentius in the face, and roll credit like in 5 minutes. That'd be pretty funny. Can we sell the golden eggs to anyone?
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway...
Ooh, I'm looking for Kabash. I heard you were one of the last people to see him.
I knew this day would come. I do not wish to lie to you, my friend, but even discussing this matter is dangerous. Please, let us leave the live coals safely beneath the ash.
I mean, I know where Kabash is. He's in the catacombs, which we still have to visit, but I want to hear what he has to say. You can trust me. We foreigners, we have to stick together, right?
Very well, but the magistrate would not look kindly upon this. So
Fuck the
please
magistrate.
keep it to yourself. For several months now, I have been sneaking out at night to worship the gods of my ancestors in the temple of Demeter.
Really?
Each day, I leave offerings of food in the hope that we may have a bountiful harvest. And yet the next day when I return, the food is missing.
How strange.
So I ask, who or what is devouring the food in this temple?
Why, the gods, of
Stranger
course.
still. Once I sat in front of my shop like the 100-eyed Argus until dawn to see if I could spot a thief going in. But do you know what I saw?
I have no idea.
Nothing. Nobody entered. And yet when I went to take a look, my offering was gone. It is bizarre, is it not? When I told my friend Kabash of this at the tavern, he offered to help investigate. He went in, and to my dismay, he was never seen again.
Right, the Temple of Demeter is the one that leads to the old man underground, right? I was confusing it with the other temple where we were locked in last time to get the golden bow, but that was the Temple of Diana. Guess I'm off to the Temple of Demeter then.
I do not think you should pursue this, my friend. It would break my heart to be responsible for 2 people disappearing. But you do not strike me as a kind of person to be deterred by such warnings, so just be careful, I beg you.
You're a good man, Georgius, but I'm gonna be okay. Don't worry about me. Where is the piece of shit Decius? Oh, I haven't done the assassin thing in this run. Where is Decius? Yo, I want to sell you my golden eggs. That's strange. Usually he's always around here. We've also read many times about like some hidden passages behind the theater, and like I still haven't found the theater. I assume it's this building. I also know now that these butterflies are always about stuff you can transform, so does that mean I can climb up there? Is there anything up here? There's a chest up here. 1,000 denarius and 6 arrows. Can I go back down without like killing myself? Ooh, that hurt. I have to remember this game must account for you doing like these things in any kind of order. Alright, well, screw Decius. We'll talk to him in the next cycle. For now, let's go in the Temple of Demeter. Also, the last time I went to talk to the old man, we had a chance to ask him what his story was, but because I was kind of late in in the cycle. I skipped it, so I would like to hear how he ended up down there, now that we have a bit more time. We might actually not have that much time because we're kind of late in the cycle, but let's talk to him nonetheless.
Ah, a visitor.
We've had this conversation before. You're going to explain that the exertion of power required to create utopia would always result in tyranny.
I was indeed. But we've never met before, have we? I'm sure I would have remembered. Blessed Lissa, am I losing my memory?
I'm caught in a time loop.
Oh, that's a relief. For a moment, I thought it was I who was touched by madness.
Oh, that's a relief. You're the one that's crazy. So what's your story?
You mean, how did I end up living alone?
I'm listening.
I was a quarrelsome young man. At 19, I left Corinth for Rome to study rhetoric at one of her finest academies, so I could argue more forcefully. Back then, I used to enjoy verbally sparring with everyone.
There was no Twitter back then.
And I was good. One night, I found myself in a tavern in an argument with a drunken mercenary.
Ooh, maybe not a
It
good
became
idea.
heated. He drew a gladius, and I won the argument.
Right,
but
because he knows this is the underworld.
lost my life. I woke up on the banks of the Styx at a campfire opposite Karen. Of course, I tried to persuade her to let me return, but even with
You
all
tried
my
to talk
skill,
your way out of it.
I failed. I settled in, made friends, and learned what I could, quickly realizing our little community faced certain death under the Golden Rule.
So you figured you would
I
hide
began
down
looking
here.
for a place to hide underground. Fortunately, I found this place waiting for me. You see, I was not the first to take refuge here. I returned to my friends above, persuaded them to join me, and 12 of us descended for the last time to live out our days hidden from Hades' tyranny.
You had 12 friends? Who has that many friends? But then how come you're the only survivor? Hades, you mean Pluto?
They're one and the same. The Romans call him Pluto, but long
Right.
before that, my people called him Hades.
So you're a Greek. Why can't you return to the surface?
My generation was wiped out, turned to gold, many years ago. My friends and I were able to avoid the same.
So they
fate
just
by
died
hiding
from...
down here. I think it's safest to assume that if I was to return, Hades would realize that his furies hadn't finished the job,
But,
and he'd send them after me.
so there's no
again.
statues down here? Why can't you tell me your name?
I fear that if you were to utter my name in the city, even by mistake, that Hades would hear you and know I am still alive.
That's very careful of you. Yeah, I keep thinking of these gods as like omniscient god that can kind of see everything, but in Greek mythology they're a bit more like personified, and so like they have flaws. They're not all powerful. They can kind of like, it is kind of like possible to hide from them or to trick them. Where is everyone else?
I'm afraid I am the only one left. There were 12 of us in the beginning, but one by one, my friends passed away.
How do you pass away
Some
in the
from
underworld?
malnutrition, others from madness and despair. It has been lonely. Before my unexpected visit from Kabash some weeks ago, I'd not seen another person in many, many years.
Why would you die if you're already in the underworld? Like, where do you go when you die after you die? Do you go to the super underworld? Like, why would you grow older? Like, I thought when you died, you were supposed to kind of stay the same age. But no, because Al also grew older and then had to kill himself. What a strange underworld this is. How have you survived down here?
Living in darkness is not without its challenges. The first challenge is diet. Fortunately, I found that eating fresh fish provides most of the nutrients.
Aren't you tired of eating fish, though?
And sometimes, when there are Greek people living up above, I surface at night and salvage the offerings they've left in the temple of Demeter. The greater challenge is the isolation, so I like to imagine arguments where I argue both sides.
But
Like so many things in life, arguments are better with a partner.
I bet. It's kind of like playing chess with yourselves. Like, you always win, but you always lose, too. I never really took the time to look. I assumed that, like, you could still get shot by the statues down here, right? Because, like, It would be strange if you could just escape the time loop. Maybe time stops moving while you're down here. Because, like, what if the election happens up there while I'm down talking to him? Then the golden rule would be broken, and you wouldn't be there to get shot by the arrows. Like, gameplay-wise, I have to assume that time stops while you're down here. That would explain why I took so long to talk to this guy last time, and, like, the election never happened. Alright then, let's go check out these catacombs. With the key we have. Ugh. A friend of the philosopher. This must be one of the philosopher's 11 friends who he outlived. Alright. Still don't really know why you die in the underworld, but you know. And there probably wouldn't be creatures down here either, like they're more connected to the palace and Navia. This one died a very long time ago. Why did he bother like burying some of them in these but not these guys? I mean, I guess he doesn't really have any resources down here, so I shouldn't be too harsh. 11 friends in total. I wish I had 11 friends. I don't have that many friends. So what is Kabash's deal coming down here? I guess maybe he was trying to find a way to escape. Right, he was investigating the disappearing fruit. Oh! There is one down here. How did you get here, my friend? Oh, this would be really creepy if you've never seen one of these yet. If this was your first time seeing one of these, like just coming out of the water like that, that'd be really creepy. Thankfully, we have a way to defend ourselves. We're kind of used to these by now. But that's still pretty creepy. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Egyptian board game. The board for an ancient game called Senet, the rules for which are long forgotten. An Egyptian clay vase decorated with animals and geometric patterns. It now contains nothing but sand. This was built to last. And there's a door. Seems to be locked from the other side. Okay. Egyptian pillar. This pillar is clearly Egyptian. What is it doing here? So, the Egyptian underworld is merged with the Greek and Roman underworld. Is that a creature there? Nope, it's a statue. Ugh. Where is this Kabash? Ugh. Damn, there's a lot of people down here. And there's creatures. Hey guys. Y'all are still really creepy, especially in here. It's super dark. Ugh. Ugh. Don't like this. God, it's really dark. I don't like this. Oh, this one is not running. That's the first one that doesn't run. Oh, yep, there it is. Jumped at me right from the dark. I need to be able to hold my flashlight and my bow at the same time. That really scared me. That really startled me. It came like jumping right from the darkness. Oh God. Ugh. Why you gotta do this to me? Why would there be like peeled creatures down here? I thought Navia was the one doing this. They seem different somehow. They're not really peeled statues, they're just zombies straight up, it seems. Like they don't really have gold around them that much. They're just zombies. Ugh. An Egyptian plaque which translates to "the many shall suffer." Oh wow, so they have it even in Egyptian. You ever read that fact that like Cleopatra is closer to us than to the creation of the pyramids? Which is like insane to think about how many thousands of years the Egyptians were like in power. Oh, look at that. There's Anubis. A lot of these board games. An Egyptian man looks like he was running from something. Oh. Yeah, as soon as you shine your light on them, they start running at you, which I hate that. But they don't know how to climb up here. You guys don't know how to climb? Well, there you go. Creepy. They don't turn instantly unless you get a headshot. Good thing I have a lot of arrows. But it's really creepy still. I'd rather not deal with these guys if I can avoid it. Any more of them? Statue of Aker, an ancient Egyptian deity said to have to guard against evil spirits and welcome the dead to the underworld. So this might originally be like an Egyptian underworld that was just kind of transformed by Hades into what it is now. I bet there's some creatures like hiding in the corners to jump you. They would totally do that. I know you guys would do that. I know you're not above trying to scare me with these little jump scares. There's Kabash. How the hell have you survived with all these creatures here? How the hell are you still alive?
Stop. Do not come
He's got a
closer.
bow.
Who are you?
I'm Lukael. Who are you?
I am Kabash.
All right.
And let me guess, another Greek or Roman come to loot and plunder the resting place of my
Right, because he's
ancestors,
Egyptian. Do I look Greek or Roman to you?
Trousers, boots, curious here. No, I suppose you do not. Then what do you want?
I'm just looking for an Egyptian plaque.
To what end?
I want to return it to the obelisk.
That is welcome news.
Right?
You really are not Greek or Roman, are you? I was
I'm Canadian.
planning to return it myself.
You would be
but
like, what?
For now, I must remain. Here, take it and restore the honor of Osiris.
Osiris. Flag bearing a hieroglyphic inscription, Osiris, Lord of Silence. Nice. Thanks. It was pretty easy.
Now, as for the other plaque.
The fort plaque, you know about that?
Indeed, I have it right here.
Oh.
I stumbled across a collection of dusty curiosities while searching for a place to hide from the hungry children of Amit.
Amit?
And there it was.
May I have it?
You may not. In fact, I am about to destroy it.
Oh, please don't do that. Why?
Because it speaks a treacherous, blasphemous lie.
Which is? How so?
I will tell you, but first, do you know what this place is?
Ooh, the Duat? I guess that's like the Egyptian underworld.
Indeed. And I see you know our history. This is the Duat. See what has become of it. I have been down here for weeks, piecing together its story. And here is what I have learned. As Egypt declined and the Greeks had their turn to flourish, their souls came here in great numbers. But instead of adopting our ways,
Yeah.
they copied and
They turned this
corrupted
place
them.
into a Greek
When
city.
They found the obelisk bearing the name Osiris, the true god of the underworld. They desecrated it, removing his name and replacing it with...
But Hades is like a real
Even the
thing.
Ferryman of the dead, known to my people long before as Kerti, they renamed to Keron, as if that
Right.
desecration was not enough. They built over this place, using it as the foundation for their own underworld, so that ours was forgotten. My only solace is that the Greeks then suffered the same fate when the Romans rose to power, renaming Hades to Pluto, and the cycle began anew.
Is this weird kind of like, because the afterlife, the underworld, is a real physical place, it's not devoid of like colonialism in a weird way. So like people just get there, they're like, there's a city here, but it's a filthy Egyptian city, so let's just tear it down and build a nice Greek city instead. And then the Roman get there, they're like, let's get rid of all this Greek stuff, let's just build our city here. Like, it's not really being managed by the gods that much. And also, that's the really fun thing when you're playing with multiple mythologies, is like, there's a lot of overlap in mythology. You know, there's a god of the dead in pretty much every religion or mythology. There's like a ferryman of the dead, or like some kind of equivalent, like someone that transports the souls in most mythology. And so you can always be like, oh, it's the same person. They just take different names across different periods of times, which is like always kind of funny. But so who is the voice that says the many shall suffer? Isn't that Hades? And if that's Hades, where is Osiris? Is Osiris not still in charge of this place? Like, if he created it? I can see why you'd be unhappy with the Greeks and Romans.
I am glad to hear it, which brings me to this other, fourth plaque. It is inscribed with a script I do not recognize, but it is ancient, almost as if it is older than the plaque.
There would be
bearing
someone before
Osiris'
the
name.
Egyptians even.
But if that is so, it would imply the gods of Egypt are mere imitations too, copied and corrupted from an ancient people who prospered even before us. And that my people did to them what the Greeks and Romans did to us. But this, I cannot accept. I sense a deception. Perhaps it is the
Oh, of
work
course you would
Set
think that.
Usurper, seeking to undermine Osiris once more.
That's a little hypocritical, right? Instead of just accepting that your people are not so different from all the other people and like that they did the same thing that humans have been doing for as long as there's been humans, which is steal land. That's what human history is. It's like this cycle of stealing the land from whoever is there before you, and then like they stole the land from the people before them, and it's like, it's all we do. What does the inscription say?
You will never know. This work of sacrilege must be destroyed, thrown into the black abyss below in Osiris' name.
Please don't. What if I try and be nice? Also, the fact he has a bow explains how he managed to survive down here. Please don't.
You are too late. It is done.
Shit. Now I'm going to have to go in after it.
You would plunge into the depths of the Duat with no way back.
Can we do that?
Madness.
We'll see. First, I have some questions for you.
If it will help you to see reason, then ask.
What's your story?
I am from Rakotis, which you may know as Alexandria. The name
I didn't know it had a different name.
Built over it. I was a fisherman, like my father before me. Since the Romans had taken over from the Greeks, I took the opportunity to learn Latin and eventually traveled to
Impressive.
When the fires broke out last year.
Okay, so he did die like around the same time as everyone else.
Locals into my boat and led many of them to safety farther along the Tiber.
That's
On my
nice.
7th trip, a passenger demanded I wait for his brother. But we were full to almost sinking, and smoke was all around us. I told him his brother would have to save himself, and he tried to bribe me by placing a coin into my hand. When I refused, he drew a dagger and thrust it between my ribs.
That's not very nice.
I awoke on the banks of the river to a stranger wearing a ram headdress. He said his name was Kirti, and at the time, I simply thought
I mean,
him
that's
odd.
on you. There was no confusion
It
there.
did not dawn on me until much later that he was the Kirti.
The
ram-headed
Kirti.
ferryman described in the Book of the Dead.
So she looked different to you. Interesting. Do you know a way out of here?
This is where I belong, as caretaker of the memories of my people. If our ways are to be remembered, it falls to me.
But you're also going to grow older and die, right? What do you think about the golden rule?
I think if someone is to break the golden rule, it will not be me. For I try to live as I always have by the command of the goddess Ma'at. Do to the doer to make him do. As for the punishment that will come from it, I finally understand why it has long been said among my people that gold is the skin of the gods.
Also, he's got a really cool voice. I love this accent and this voice. It's very cool. What do you think is down there?
I do not know. What could possibly lie beneath the underworld? Perhaps it is infinite darkness. Perhaps it is the lair of Amit, the devourer of souls.
I hope not.
All I know is it would be unwise to venture down there.
Well, that just makes me want to go down there even more. Yeah, aren't you curious? I don't really have a choice. If I need this plaque to confront Hades, I need to go down there. Perhaps.
Most unwise.
I'll be going now.
Good. Be gone from this place. Wait. You are planning to go down there. I see it in your eyes.
Definitely.
You would plunge into the depths of the Duat with no way back up.
I told you not to drop that plaque. I'll find a way back up.
We shall see.
Are you gonna be impressed if I do? Oh man, I don't really want to. I can see it too. It's like right there. What if I shoot like a arrow down there?
How is it possible to feel watched at every moment and yet still be so alone?
I don't know. Okay, wish me luck, dude. A plaque bearing a cuneiform inscription, Nergal the Fierce One. Nergal? Would this be like some ancient Mesopotamian god? Now I need to find a way out of here. But there's gonna be a bunch of creatures, I can feel it. What was here before the Egyptians? It was the Mesopotamians, right? I know it's probably not how you pronounce that. Just give me that one. Please don't have creatures, because I really need my flashlight to see down here. And I can't hold both at the same time. More people. Bird-headed statue. An ancient Sumerian statue of a man with the head of a bird. Perhaps this is Kumutabal, the man with a bird headdress, who Rufus saw when he awoke by the river. Oh. Right, perhaps. But wouldn't that mean that Rufius is Sumerian? Please no creatures down here. A boulder. A large round boulder which appears to have rolled into the wall, smashing it open, causing water to flow out. Huh. Roll from where? Barricades. An eroded set of barricades. It looks like these Sumerians were trying to defend themselves from something. I don't like that. Don't like that one bit. Ancient stone tablet. See, the weird thing is, before getting the golden bow, the game tells you if you don't like horror elements, don't do this. But you need to do this in order to reach the end of the game, don't you? I mean, I guess you could like shoot Sensius in the head with the regular bow, and that would give you one ending, but it's not really the true ending, is it? Stranger, heed the final words of Nam Kuzu. Bear witness to our aftermath and lament us. We did our best to live as the gods commanded. We planted and harvested together. We shared bread and beer. We accepted newcomers with open arms as if family. But with each newcomer, the bonds of our family strained, and soon we were as strangers to each other. And when those bonds were finally broken, my brothers and sister planted only for themselves and ate and drank alone. And it was there in the empty space between us that sin took root. Nergal's sentinels have awoken and clambered our barricades, learned from our he was gonna say mistake, and then he was interrupted. So up there they think that the creatures are Hades' furies. Here they think they are Nergal's envoys. Everyone has like a different version for what these creatures are. Corroded brass plate. A corroded brass plate with Sumerian markings on it appears to be a pressure plate for some kind of trap. So if you step on there, like, what happens? Whoa. That's what happens. Did that open the way? Oh. It's causing water to... Is this place going to flood? I guess not. So what if I hit it again? Oh, it only worked the one time. I guess we can't cross to the other side because of the spikes. What if I shoot with the bow? Doesn't work. I think we can go around though in the tunnel. I guess it's not that dark. Sumerian pottery. A broken set of Sumerian pottery. While other ancient people made pottery by hand, the Sumerians were the first to develop the turning wheel, which allowed them to mass produce it. Impressive. Sumerian plaque. Written in cuneiform, which translates to "the sins of the one shall become the suffering of the many." Interesting. Slightly different wording, phrasing. I'm just waiting for one of these creatures to pop up. I just know they will. Let's keep going. This might lead to the outside.
When I told you that you would not find a way back up, that was not a prediction.
Kabashi, you're going to... Don't attack me. There's no need for this to end in violence.
I disagree. I warned you against coming down here, against perpetuating this sacrilege. But you
didn't really insist that much.
You have undermined and dishonored the true god of the Underworld. How did you think this would end, if not with bloodshed?
Just hear me out. Okay, I told you I was gonna jump down there and you were like, oh, that would be a bad idea. Like, you didn't really try to stop me that much. If you'd threatened me to kill me, it might have changed my mind. I mean, it wouldn't have, but just hear me out.
Very well, I will listen. But if I sense deception, or if you further insult my gods, I will carry out my threat. So tell me, why should I let you live after you salvaged this instrument of blasphemy?
If something can be destroyed by the truth, it deserves to be destroyed by the truth. There's no shame in building on the works of people who came before you. I mean, you could argue that. That could be debated, but I don't think you will agree. I'm just trying to replace all the plaques taken from the desecrated obelisk. But for him, this plaque does not deserve to be there because it goes against what he believes in. Maybe he would agree with that?
Then you admit it. You wish to destroy the sacred
Shit.
beliefs of my people. I will not allow this. Many of my ancestors endured great hardship to live good lives so that we may descend to the Duat in death and be judged accordingly. We prepare to have our hearts weighed on Anubis' scales and to swear ourselves innocent of sin before the 42 assessors of Ma'at.
But did that ever happen?
Yet, I arrive here to find the Book of the Dead contained only a seed of truth. And now I ask myself, did our priests steal and embellish the stories of an older people and feed us lies all our lives?
Maybe.
Simply to trick us into obedience?
That's kind of all religion. Probably, but you can blame your priest for that, not me. Isn't being a good person a worthwhile pursuit in and of itself?
I am not sure I follow. Speak plainly.
This game is going to be about me teaching atheism to these people. Even if your beliefs about the afterlife weren't quite accurate, isn't the important thing they motivated you to live good lives? If you were only good in life because you expected a reward, were you really a good person? This sounds more accusatory. Let's go with this one.
Perhaps there is some truth in that. What is your point?
Are you going to abandon a lifetime of good character, now that it matters most, just because you found out you were misled? Also, how do you know this isn't also part of the test, you know? How do you know the gods aren't still watching you and, like, judging your actions? Why would you take that risk?
You are persuasive. Very well. I will let you live, and you may do what you will with that plaque.
All right.
I will remain here for a while and attempt to learn what I can about the foundations of my people's beliefs.
That's a lot more reasonable. Thank you, Kabash. Uh-oh, I stepped on the thing. Okay. I was scared it was going to roll from up there and, like, kill us both. So we're good? No hard feelings? See, I knew you were a reasonable man, Kabash.
You again. What is it now?
I'll be going.
As the Romans say, may fortune smile on you.
Talk about a woke bay. Alright, let's get out of here. Which will lead where? Like, where is this going to lead? Oh, it was that door that was locked from the outside, right? From the inside, rather. So now we have 3 plaques, right? So we're missing the 4th one, the Roman one. And now we just need to keep talking to people until someone tells us where it is. Am I right about that? Yeah, we're missing the Roman plaque. Figure out a way into the locked shrine. The locked shrine. The election might be happening very soon up there. We might have to hurry up, or we will be hunted by the statues. Alright, we're back outside. Is Decius back? Maybe you can buy my golden eggs. He's still not here.
And salutations.
Greetings, Georgius. You know, I asked in a previous episode if Georgius's accent was Greek, and when I looked at the credits, the name of the voice actor for Georgius did seem to have a Greek name, so I guess it really is a Greek accent.
Galerius?
Horatius?
I'm guessing that pre-fuel.
Oh, they're all here.
Still no sign of Sentilla.
Not bad.
And I haven't slept
Not at
right in
all.
3 weeks.
Don't be too hard on yourself. From what I hear, nobody saw it coming.
I didn't know they all
Anyway,
came here.
I thought you Stoics weren't supposed to worry about things you can't control.
Yeah, but I keep thinking, what if there is something I can do? What if she's out there somewhere suffering, waiting to be found?
Yeah.
Sounds like you're torturing yourself. Leave that for the gods. Try to relax, get some rest. Tomorrow's a new day.
I suppose you're right.
Galerius is such a nice guy, trying to help everyone out. Hey, Decius.
Don't even talk to me.
Why not? You don't want to buy my golden eggs?
Ah, it's you again. Hope you're settling in, friend. Now, what's on your mind?
You're not even gonna look at me?
All right, see you.
Well, at this point, I'm just kind of waiting for a tavern keg with inbuilt cup holders. I'm just kind of waiting for the end of the cycle at this point.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my
Oh, you know what?
customers.
They follow their trade.
I did want to try again the thing with this statue here. The one that's always in the way. Because like last time, it did kind of walk out of the way, but then it stopped like at the entrance here, right? Like it stopped right there. So it's like my plan only partially worked. Like it does move, but I don't know if it ever moves enough for you to be able to get in the door behind. But like I can't think of any other way that you would get back there other than like just breaking the roll and trying to get around it. But you have to do so without dying, which is like the tricky part. So tell you what, I'm going to make a save. I'm going to make a save, steal something, and really try and get behind that damn statue.
The many
Sorry,
shall
everyone.
suffer for the sins of the one.
Already get shot. Ah, but I'm taking damage. Oh, and I'm dead. Alright. Let's reload. What if you use the golden bow and the golden statue? Can you like stop them maybe? Probably not.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
No, you can't. You can't stop them. They're fully invincible. Alright. It's gonna be tricky. I just need to not get shot.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Get shot as soon as you walk by there. Look at that, he's taunting you. He's like, come on, give me another day. I need the other one to move. If I get shot one more time, I think I'm dead. Oh, I think it's moved. Let me go, let me go, let me go. Let me get in there. 4,000 denarius and some arrows. That's it? That's all there is? Oh man, now I'm can I even make it out of here without dying? Maybe if I run very quickly. In zigzag, walk in a zigzag. Fuck Sentius. Spit on his corpse as you run past. Back here. Alright, it is a new cycle. So let's save. Hello, Galerius.
Salve, friend.
What you're doing with that bow on your back? Oh, he knows about the bow. Oh, you can actually do that? Oh, that's exactly what we were telling Sentilla. We were like, what if I gather everyone and then we kill Sentius and we get everyone else to leave? Oh, I didn't think that was an option. The golden rule is going to be broken soon. I need you to quietly get everyone except Sentius ready to run into the upper cistern when the ground starts to rumble. But what about Julius? What about the old philosopher down under? What about Nevia in the palace? Like, there's a lot of people we can't really help escape, right?
What? That's a big ask. But something tells me...
Why would he believe you?
Alright, I'm gonna stick my neck out and believe you.
Wow.
I doubt I'll be able to gather more than a handful of people.
Wait, should I have told him to do the other things first? I think maybe I was supposed to tell him to do all the other things and then tell him to gather everyone, right? Maybe? I'm going to reload because I think maybe that's what I was supposed to do. Right, because people like who's the girl that was poisoned?
Sorry, friend. Mind telling me who you are and what you're doing with that?
I need you to take care of some things urgently. Okay, save Yulia.
Yulia?
And then... Wait, okay. Rufus has been threatening Virgil, but if you give him some of his willow bark, it will treat his rheumatism and he'll settle down.
Poor Virgil. Poor Rufus too, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright, got it.
Need you to stop Fabia entering the empty shrine. Tell the new arrival he'll find what he's looking for in there.
Alright, let me see. Stop Fabia going in, but send the new arrival to the empty shrine. Understood.
Are you sure you're going to remember all of this? Tell Malleolus you know his real name is Quinctius, thanks to Claudia, and that Nero sends his regards. Then tell him to withdraw from the election and release his debt bondsman. But I also need you to... Okay, it doesn't sound like I can do this and the thing about Sentius.
What? Are you... You're serious, aren't you? I doubt Domitius will let me talk to him, but I'll make sure he passes on the message.
No, I need you to also gather everyone. Maybe I can ask him later?
I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
Let's follow him. Let's follow him and see. Because maybe after he's done everything, then we can tell him, okay, now that everyone is freed, gather them all except Sentius.
Cannot catch the drops of water.
I really did not think that was even going to be an option, so that's really cool. I wonder if Decius wants to buy these golden eggs. Yo, Decius.
How'd you do? Hello there, friend. May I say, that is a
I took it from the Shrine of Diana, only to discover you locked me inside with angry hornets. I managed to escape, and after a harrowing ordeal in the palace and traveling back in time, here I am.
Are you well, stranger? Have you been out in the sun too long? You seem a little... confused? Perhaps you should
There's
go and see
Galerius.
your
I
creature
should
in the
follow
clinic.
him. Okay,
Very
bye.
well.
Doesn't seem like he wants to buy the golden eggs, so I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with that. Maybe you can give them to
I'm just going
Domitius.
to help her swallow this. I think she's going to be all right. Galerius, you're amazing. How did you know?
I was just doing what the new guy told me.
I don't understand. How did... Never mind.
God, it always fucking scares me. It's so loud.
We would have lost her.
Can't stay. Places to be.
Hurry up, dude. You've got more to do. The whole city's counting on you. Oh. Is he going to let you get in there? Yep, he's stopping him.
What now?
I have a message from Malleolus.
Yeah? Who's it from?
The Emperor. He knows Malleolus's real name is Quinctius, thanks to Claudia, and demands he withdraw from the election and release Ulpius and Iulia immediately.
Are you out of your mind, farm boy?
Domitius, that's enough.
What? You're not going to listen to this?
He's actually going to do it?
Galerius, all right, I'll withdraw, and Ulpius
Wow.
and Julia are free. I trust our business is concluded.
That's how you free them without the money.
Yes, that ought to do it. I guess I'll go and tell Ulpius the good news then.
Okay. Domitius must be very confused. Good thing Quinctius was listening behind him.
Good news, Ulpius. Malleolus has agreed to release you and Iulia from your debts.
What? Are you messing with me?
I wouldn't do that. You're both free.
We're free. We're free. Thank you. It seems fortune smiles on us after all. I'd better go and pay a visit to Iulia immediately.
I really hope after all this I still get to ask him to gather everyone.
Citizen.
Alright, where are you going next? That's everything, right? Can I talk to you now?
Iulia.
He's busy. You don't look busy to me. Okay, now they're leaving.
Don't believe a word they tell you.
I want you to go in for Iniquidia. Are you under duress, sir? Oh, weird. They have the same conversation as if you do it normally, except Domitius was right there to hear the exchange with Galerius, so that's weird. People are really unbothered, like, oh, really? All right. Surprising. And then she comes here and announces it to basically no one.
Citizens, I have an announcement. Malleolus has withdrawn his candidacy from today's
You're gonna have to really speak up.
Unless any new challengers are nominated by nightfall, Sentius will be re-elected magistrate by default.
Actually, I'd like to nominate myself, if that's all right.
Of course, Galerius, that's your right. Citizens, the election will proceed.
And now I can talk to you. Can you please gather
Sorry again,
everyone?
Friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. Oh, and I'm in the running for magistrate. Feeling kind of nervous, but I'm hoping it'll all be worth it when I order Dooley's
Can I
release.
tell him that Julie will break the
Just
rule?
hope I'll have the votes I need.
Even if you don't win the election, we'll be here before you know it. I have a feeling you'll do great. How come I can't tell him that Julie will break the rule?
Oh, that's kind of you to say. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right? Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just...
Ah, that sucks that you can't tell him. That feels like a slight oversight. Like, you should be able to tell him releasing Julius
Salve
will break the
again,
rule.
my Sisyphean friend. Now, what's on your mind?
I can't ask him to gather everyone. So do I really need to do it without him solving everyone's problems? Because if he does that, he won't be able to gather like that many people, right? It feels like he should do this first and then... Because like he won't be able to get Iulia and Ulpius if he doesn't help them first, so... Oh, damn it. That's so silly that you can't tell him. Well, then I guess I'll reload and ask him to just get everyone. The golden rule is going to be broken soon. I need you to quietly get everyone except Sentius ready to run into the upper cistern when the ground starts to rumble. But like, I would need to give him the key to the upper cistern because I'm the one that has the key.
What? That's a big ask. But
let's see how many people he actually gets to gather. There's a lot of people he won't be able to. Where are you going? You've skipped a lot of people already. When people have an announcement, I guess they just always do it from here. So... are you doing it? Or...
Salve.
It doesn't seem like you're really doing anything. Does this count as you being ready? Okay, let me save. I'm going to try and steal something, I guess, so that the rule is broken, and then let's see what he does. Maybe I'm supposed to solve all the problems myself. Let's do it. Alright, let's try and solve the problems ourselves, since Galerius doesn't want to do it. And then hopefully he gets to gather them all. I guess Galerius just stands there and waits for the rule to be broken.
Thank you.
There's 2,000.
I just wish there was some way I...
Don't worry about it.
I'll go and take care of things with Malleolus.
Alright, so that should be... oh, we can inspect the missing piece. It seems somebody removed the plaque from here. I'll need to find it to decipher the meaning of the obelisk. We can insert the plaque. Ooh, and it's shiny. This one too. So we got the Sumerian, the Egyptian, the Greek, and I'm missing the Roman. So, like, do I still need to do the whole Sentilla thing, and then Galerius will bring everyone through the cistern?
Fortune smile on you, brother. Salve. Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked.
No, you did not. I did everything.
How is it possible that you've just arrived here and...
okay, this is a bug. He's not supposed to be saying this. I'm the one that helped everyone, not you.
Alright.
Okay, so at this point, if we do the Sentilla ending, he should get everyone through the cistern, right? In theory.
You are... do you know you're here?
I know we've had this conversation before.
What? God, am I going out of my mind? Are you going to let me go or not?
I've told Galerius to lead everyone here when the golden rule is broken so they can't escape too.
How did you know? Wait, did you hear that? He's here.
This must be ending number
He must be
3.
coming in through the door behind me. You distract him. Stay right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can use.
Wait.
What did you do with Sentilla? Where is she?
I told her we've had this conversation before, but did we? Because after we had it last time, I went through the ending and then I reloaded a save, so like, it's not like the time looped, so how would I remember this conversation? At least, I guess it's because I had the conversation with her, and then in that save file, I didn't help her escape. I just caused the time loop, and so we never helped her escape until now. You're garbage.
So that is how it's going to be. So, you discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it?
I can't believe she sets him on fire. You're going to die a painful death for this.
Do you really think you can take on a Decurion with that flimsy little bow?
You're just an old man. I probably could, but I'm going to let her have this one.
Who? Sentilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
What does she use to set him on fire? I wonder.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Come on, we have to go. The others should be right behind us. Hey, what's happening to you? that light. It's so bright.
Bye. I think this might be ending 3, where we save the whole city except Sentius. That's what that bitch deserves. Hey, Al. So I guess the plaque will be slightly different.
Hi there. Give me... Well... Funny you should... I was just... It described an event about 2,000 years ago. Freed an imprisoned woman named Sentilla, who then murdered... It said the attack caused golden statues to come alive, hunting down everyone in the city and turning them into gold. Apparently, Sentilla and a handful of other citizens managed to escape.
A handful of citizens.
The stranger disappeared in a flash of light.
Okay, I don't know if that's gonna be enough for the ending to be really different. This kind of feels the same.
You're back. What?
I discovered the ruins of an ancient underground city.
Really? Sounds amazing. And did you... Oh, Al. It's so good to see you.
Oh wow, so you can skip that whole thing about her real identity.
Kind of lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. And there was a tablet described... Supposedly, the city was destroyed when a woman murdered a tyrant. My new friend here, I know how crazy that sounds.
Maybe not that crazy.
How could you...
She left a tablet of her own. I think she meant for... Here, take a look.
Let's see how different it is. Wow, she doesn't reveal her real identity.
Or if you'll ever read this. But Octavia, Lucretia, Horatius, Equitia and I will never forget you. Or what you did for us.
That's the only people that escaped?
That so many of our dear friends were not so fortunate. Including Ulpius and Galerius, who heroically tried to rescue Dooley.
Oh,
but
man.
never made it back. But there is no point dwelling on what might have been.
It's a few of them at least.
All we can do is take this gift you've given us and try to show others the same compassion you showed us.
Galerius and Ulpius were trying to save Dooley.
That saving our lives was not for nothing. Sentilla et al.
I guess it's like etc. Sentilla and the others.
Sounds like you meant a lot to her. You two look exhausted.
Sounds good to me.
And you?
Alright, Charon. That is ending 3. The ones that got away. Oh. Okay, it's not really all that different. How many might have survived if you confront the god of the underworld? So yeah, the final ending really is the one with all the plaques. So that's the only thing we have left to do. We just need to find that Christian hideout in this city. Alright, so we're back in. I just need to remember where that hideout is. We have the key to Secret Shrine. That's all it says. Secret Shrine. But where is it? It's behind the theater, which has to be this. It was probably in these tunnels somewhere. I must have run into it, saw a locked door, and then I just never tried going there again. This? Ah, it's right here. It was right here. So, not that hard to find. Stone carving. A symbol of a fish carved into it. Looks like it might be religious in nature. Stone disc. Someone carved the fish shape into this plaque here. But where is the plaque? There it is, the Roman plaque. Pluto Dispater, father of riches. There it is. Wooden carving, the symbol of the fish. Was the fish the ancient symbol for Christianity? Also, you can turn this into... Oh wait, that's the wrong boat. Where does this lead? Oh, I guess that's another way to get inside. From here? Oh. Okay. Okay, we have the 4 plaques, so now we can confront Hades himself. What is Hades going to look like in this game? I'm very curious. Ow.
Cerberus lifts his dribble head and lets out his 3.
And this has to be like the true ending, right? We have to somehow be able to negotiate with him, and maybe we can convince him to release everyone from their eternal suffering. It's not really eternal because they grow old and die. So it's really just like a second life, just a slightly shittier life. Like, what is the goal of Hades in creating this city where the many shall suffer for the sins of the one? Is he trying to teach people morality? Is he trying to create a utopia? Is he just very severe about collective punishment? I don't know. I guess maybe he's going to tell us when we ask him the question.
Salve.
Maybe it's not even Hades in there. Maybe it is Osiris or the Sumerian god. Alright, let's save just in case. And let's insert the final plaque. And now we can enter the Great Temple. Exciting. What's going to be in here? Proserpina, are you with me? Do I have your support? Speak his name. Oh, it's all 4, isn't it? Lord of many, grant me an audience. Nergal, the fierce one, grant me an audience. Osiris, Lord of silence. Would he show up as a different incarnation every time? I mean, I guess his most recent incarnation is Pluto, but the most ancient one, maybe the original one, would be Nergal, right? So that didn't work? Okay, then Pluto? Okay, so he does not respond to his dead name. Only to the name Pluto, I guess his most recent name. Or do I have to do them, like, going back? Oh, okay, I have to do them from the newest name to the oldest name. Hades? I see, I see. Oh, right, because this is a Greek temple. Now this is an Egyptian temple. I see. Makes sense, makes sense. And the first one was a Roman temple. Osiris, Lord of Silence, grant me an audience. Aha. But then Nergal truly is his original name. But what would Proserpina be in Egyptian and Sumerian? Nergal, the fierce one, grant me an audience. Ooh. Very modern. Was not expecting the full-on futuristic white. Are you kidding me? Are we in fucking space? For real? Okay, guys. Okay. Y'all really went all out with this. We meet at last. So who are the voices we hear? Is that really Proserpina or is it the voice of Nergal? There's Karen, or is that Karen on the left? And then in the middle, that's Nergal. There's 3 people here. Karen, Proserpina, Nergal. 2 doors also. So there might be more than one ending here. Greetings.
And here you are. Allow
Confront
me to
the
introduce
creator.
myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names.
Persuade the god of the underworld to abolish the golden rule.
Osiris to the Egyptians, Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans. But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld. And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal, ever since your arrival. You're unlike the others, aren't you? And what is more, you carry a weapon that was never intended for mortals to wield.
Right.
And you do it so brazenly. But there will be time for your reckoning later. First, as a reward for undoing the desecration of my obelisk, I will allow you to satisfy your curiosity. Ask what you will.
Very generous. Would it be possible to reach this point without the golden bow? Because you need to get down in the underground, in the catacombs. I guess you could just kill the creatures with the regular bow. You don't have to do it with the golden bow. So I guess it is possible to finish the game without ever using the golden bow. Interesting. What's your story? I love that you get to ask him pretty much the same questions as you did everyone. So what's your story?
My story is many thousands of years long. You will need to be more specific. What do you wish to know?
So you're a god?
It is a matter of perspective. God is a label I was given by you mortals, not one I gave myself. Your ancestors revered me because to them, my knowledge and technology made me incomprehensible.
Are you saying you're just an alien
Just as you might
who came from space?
But despite all that, there are rules even I must obey.
Interesting. Why do you look and sound like a man?
My kin and I all adopted this form long ago, so that we might better understand and communicate with
Why not be a woman?
In time, we grew fond of the sensory delights it affords. Desire, joy, ecstasy, even rage and sorrow, while an acquired taste can be addictive.
May I see your true form?
No. Long ago, I swore to Proserpina that I would remain in this form for as long as we remained among your kind. I must honor that.
Alright. Who is the woman on your left?
This is my beloved.
Proserpina.
Like me, she has been known by many names. Ereshkigal to the Sumerians.
Ereshkigal.
Isis to the Egyptians.
Isis, of course.
Persephone to the Greeks. And Proserpina to the Romans.
Interesting.
Or perhaps you might.
She's just being perfectly immobile.
The cycle of life and renewal.
Blink if you're in trouble. Oh, this is a secret? So only High hear the whispering. She doesn't want him to know. And is that Charon on your right?
That is my servant. You would have met by the river, though she wears many faces and goes by many names. Kumutabal to the Sumerians, Kurti to the Egyptians, Charon to the Greeks, and Charon to the Romans. Her role is to ferry souls between the mortal world and this one, and to make their transition as seamless as possible. For that, she earned herself the infamous, if erroneous, moniker, the Ferryman.
More like the
We will
fairy
talk
woman.
more later. For now, ask your questions.
Oh, so you know we're going to talk? I guess because your plan is to send me back to the underworld. So are you saying you're just an alien? Like you just came here in your spaceship and like humans call you a god, but really it's just because your technology is very advanced, like you're actually just an alien?
As you wish.
So what is this place?
It has come to be known simply as the Underworld, and it exists because of a wager I made long ago.
What was the wager you made?
That is a long story, one that began over 3,000 years ago and continues to this day.
I've got all the time in the world.
My kin and I set out from our home on Elysium to search for other forms of life.
He really is an alien. They came from another planet.
And witnessed your kind evolving from primates into something something lawless and barbaric. You all but destroyed yourselves, your 2 short lives being extinguished by violence and ignorance and disease. Yet Proserpina saw raw potential in you, and persuaded the rest of us it would be squandered without our intervention and stewardship. So we revealed ourselves to your people in a place called Sumer. We offered guidance in agriculture, toolcraft, and law, and you called us gods.
It's a classic story, you know.
You flourished, but soon you were too many for us to oversee. And as you spread from that cradle of civilization, we saw something disturbing. We had sown the seeds of dependency and confusion, and soon you returned to your old ways of violence.
Why did you do that?
Ignorance, this time in our name. My kin had seen enough and gave up on your kind, condemning you as barbaric and chaotic, scarcely more than animals. We began preparations to return to Elysium, our home world, a utopia unspoilt by conflict and unimaginable in its beauty. But my Proserpina could not bear to abandon your kind without guidance, and knowing it would force the rest of us to leave her behind, she made an extraordinary sacrifice. She gave up her immortality to descend permanently to the ranks of humankind. And so she began her inescapable trajectory toward death. Horrified, I acted swiftly.
Oh, that's why she's frozen. It wasn't a bug.
In a deep frozen sleep to prevent age and sickness from claiming.
So you killed her.
And then I pleaded with Proserpina's father, who the Romans called Jupiter, to bring her with us to Elysium. It was and is my hope that once there, we might one day learn to undo what she has done to us.
Well, you did this to her.
But he refused. I did everything I could to persuade him, but he would not relent. He would rigidly uphold his final pronouncement. Humans were unworthy of ascension to Elysium, and no exception.
And she was a human now.
But seeing that I was aggrieved, he proposed a wager, the terms of which were as follows. If even one human city could prove itself capable of living without sin for a single year, then Proserpina and all of humanity would be permitted to join us in Elysium.
Really?
My part
All
would
of
be
humanity.
to remain behind, the last of my kind, to watch over you without interfering, and to sit in silent judgment. And so my reward has been to languish here, enduring a 3,000-year winter, waiting for the day your kind proves itself worthy of her faith in you.
Yeah, sorry.
So that I might take her with me to Elysium and unthaw my goddess of springtime. And here I am, after all this time, still waiting.
Have you considered maybe you'd have a better chance of success if you told people what the sins they're not supposed to break are? I guess there would be too much interference to work with the wager. Like, we're supposed to just do it out of the goodness of our hearts. If you told people what is considered a sin, then it might work. And like, so only 1 year? I mean, the people in the city right now are doing pretty good. They're doing like, what, 7 months now they've been there? It's a very classic story, you know, the aliens that come to Earth and are considered gods. You know, it's like the Eternals and like a bunch of other stories are like that. Tale as old as time. Who are your kin?
There were also gods who, like me, have been known by many names, but perhaps you knew them by their Roman names. Our leader, Jupiter, as well as Neptune, Saturn, Juno, Minerva, Mars, Venus, Apollo, Diana, Vulcan, Vesta, Ceres.
Wow, just all off the top of your head?
My beloved Proserpina.
What would Zeus be in like... So Jupiter is Zeus. What would Zeus be in Egyptian? Because Osiris is kind of the king of the gods in Egyptian. Like, I feel like this guy should be Anubis, not Osiris. Because Osiris is the king of the gods. I guess it could be like... what's the god of the sun? Like Horus? I'm a bit rusty on my Egyptian mythology. Who built the city?
As the first wave of your kind arrived from Sumer, I had them build a city in their own fashion, so that they might be comfortable and recreate their lives here. I had them build the entrance as a vertical shaft leading to baths to cleanse them of the sins of their former lives and to prevent escape. I watched wave after wave of Sumerians arrive, and as their civilization declined over the centuries, they were replaced by Egyptians. Of course, believing themselves to be the superior civilization, the Egyptians promptly built over what had been built before and made all the same mistakes. After another 1,000 years, the Greeks began to arrive, and then the Romans, and they all did the same thing. They built upon the underworlds of their predecessors, renamed their gods, and ensured their foundations were forgotten.
And how did you decide who comes here?
To ensure the wager was fair, it was important that my subjects were chosen at random. To this end, I had my servant distribute 1,000 tokens fashioned from silver, a rare element at the time.
At the time.
Whoever died while in possession of one of them would be located by my servant and ferried to this place, with no memory of how they
But how did you bring them if they were dead?
They were traded, smelted, and fashioned into trinkets, and eventually coins, spreading to Egypt like seeds on the wind. Later, when they spread to Greece, they would come to be known as Charon's obol, or as coins for the ferrymen. Some placed coins in the mouths of their dead, hoping they would awaken here, though they had no way of knowing which coins were fashioned from the original tokens. In fact, almost all of the tokens are accounted for. Only 2 remain. And so after this wave destroys itself, as it is destined to do, your kind will have squandered the last of its potential.
So this is our last chance, okay.
Beyond this rock, and Persephone's along with it.
Because when Karen mentioned distributing the 1,000 coins, I thought maybe once they were used and brought here, they were redistributed among the people. So in total, there's only been 1,000 people that have made it to the Forgotten City. And this is the final batch. Like, me and Al were the final 2. That's crazy. We're cutting it really close then. How did humans learn about the Underworld?
It is a regrettable story. One of the first men who came to this place was a king of
Very valid question also.
Troublemaker. To be rid of him, I returned him to his people, on the condition that my servant erased his memories of this
But he still remembered it.
But the erasure did not take completely. And he told stories of this place as if describing memories of a dream. His tales were committed to writing, which came to be known as the Epic of Gilgamesh. And his words were twisted and distorted over generations.
Gilgamesh.
Later, the Egyptians would adapt Sumer's stories of the underworld, making them wildly intricate and labyrinthine. Their Book of the Dead and Book of Gates bore less and less resemblance to this place.
Yeah, it's like the phone game.
Then, when the Greeks began to arrive, they proved far more cunning. And in a series of incidents that will not be repeated,
Escaped?
5 of them escaped.
How?
A warrior named Heracles, 2 kings named Sisyphus and Theseus, a poet named Orpheus, and a Trojan.
We're in space. How could they possibly escape?
Told embellished tales of this place, how to get here, and how to escape. And so from Sumer to Egypt, Greece to Rome, your kind has always told each other stories about this place, though each story contained only a seed of truth. Of course.
Are you responsible for the Golden Rule?
That is merely the name your people have given to it, but yes, it is my doing.
Why turn people into gold?
That is a story dating back to the very first wave. After the Sumerians finished building their city, the self-declared ruler threw a banquet to celebrate. Now this man was unmarried, and many women were vying to become his wife, a prestigious position of power and influence in a new world. Of all the women, 2 were particularly ambitious. Both were beautiful, and both arrived at the banquet wearing eye-catching dresses and painted faces, their hair woven in elaborate fashion. The first woman, recognizing that she would require an advantage to win the ruler's affection, draped herself in jewelry, ornate necklaces, bracelets, and rings fashioned from gold. Seeing this ostentatious display, the second woman grew envious, for she had no such jewelry at her disposal. She prayed aloud to any gods that would listen to cover her in gold. And when her prayer went unanswered, she took matters into her own hands. While the others indulged at the banquet, the second woman summoned the first for a discussion in a quiet place. She checked that nobody was watching, and pushed her rival from the top of the ziggurat, where she broke her neck on the rocks below. But I was watching, and I decided to answer her prayer. I took the golden bow left behind by Diana, and I shot that woman in the heart, covering her from head to toe in a layer.
And then you were like, damn, I should keep doing that.
And I left her to stand there, that she might serve as a grim reminder of...
Is that one of the statues we've seen?
...sin in my domain. But that was not enough, for the entire city was tainted by her sin.
Right.
And the wager could no longer be won. So I had no choice but to wipe the slate clean. I gilded them all to make way for a new wave, and began the wager again. And to this day, each of them, and all who came after, line the halls of this city, inanimate.
Yeah, they're all still conscious, 1,000 of them.
With only their sight and hearing preserved, so they may bear witness to and lament the folly of your kind.
Damn, that's horrible.
Silent golden
For 3,000 years they've been stuck in there. So you're responsible for destroying all these lives.
I give your kind a second chance at life, as well as ample warning about my law. And when you disobey,
I wouldn't say ample warning.
Always disobey. You force my hand, bringing terrible suffering upon yourselves. And so you ask if I am the one destroying your lives. And I say, no, you destroy yourselves. I am merely the means by which you do it.
Well, that's convenient for you. Where did these golden bows come from?
When my kin departed, they left behind many relics which I inherited. Consolation prize of sorts. The golden bow originally belonged to one of my kin, who the Romans called
Artemis, right?
As my collection of golden statues grew, I chose the most ferocious among them, and equipped them each with a duplicate of her bow, and tasked them with hunting down the Forsaken at my behest. They became known simply as Furies.
So that's your name for them too. What do you consider a sin?
I've always considered that the cornerstone of morality is the ability to determine right from wrong on one's own. No attempt to lay out rules like your Code of Hammurabi or your 12 Tables of the Roman Republic can ever cover all possible scenarios.
Yeah, there's too many.
It should come as no surprise to you, since the core principle has been expressed in many forms by many of your civilizations. The Egyptians made a rudimentary attempt with do to the doer to make him do. The Greeks refined it with avoid doing what you would blame others for doing. The Roman Stoics added, treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Even the so-called cultists hiding among you often say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Yeah.
It is the simplest of concepts, and each one of you is born with the faculties required to apply it to any situation. Yet none of the peoples who expressed this rule were able to uphold it. Curious.
I've always lived my life that way. Lie. Doesn't seem like you've been upholding it either. It's not as easy to apply as it sounds, because it... I mean, again, you've got things like the trolley problem. What do you do in that situation? Like, what if you're... Because sometimes, no matter what choice you make, you're going to hurt someone, right? So, it's not as easy to apply as it sounds.
For you, perhaps. I've always considered this the Greek, the Roman, yet.
It doesn't seem like you've been upholding it either.
Enough.
How do you know when people sin?
I'm able to commune with all of the statues in the city. Their ears are my ears.
Oh, so that's why you can be fooled. That's why you can hide from him. That's why when you turn off the lights in the temple, that's when you get to steal the bow, because he doesn't see through the statues. He can't see in the dark. Is Proserpina connected to the statues in the same way?
If she was still conscious, I suppose she could, but she's not. Why do you ask?
No reason. No reason.
Then what an odd question.
I've seen some terrible things here that you didn't consider a sin. How could you let them happen? Very good question.
Do you plan to speak in sweeping generalizations? Or are you going to give me an example?
Price gouging for life-saving medicine.
The merchant. How is that inconsistent with the rule I've outlined?
He wouldn't want someone else to demand an outrageous price for the medicine he needed if he was dying.
I disagree. Having watched this merchant, that is precisely what he would expect from others, and he would be quite capable of paying the price anyway.
I don't think he would. I still think he would be upset. You can't know what he would expect. You're just speculating.
Applying this rule always requires speculation to some degree. It requires us to ask what another person would want if they found themselves in another situation.
But like, what about lying? You know, you could wish that other people wouldn't lie to you and so wish not to lie yourself, but lying does not break the golden rule. So basically there is a set rule for the golden rule. It's do unto others as you would wish done unto you. But like, Malleolus would not want someone doing to him what he's been doing to people, so how come that didn't break the rule? Doesn't that make it inherently subjective and unreliable?
Not if we're wise enough to know the mind of man.
And you think you know the minds of other people?
Supposing you're right, and my law has been broken, and I should turn you all to gold immediately. Is that what you want?
I don't want you to turn me to gold and end this conversation, but I am right about this.
Then your desire to be right outweighs your desire to survive. You will make a fine statue.
Shit. Enough talk, I'm going to end this. That's my only option. I'm gonna shoot him with the bow. I wanted to keep talking to him though, but I didn't want to say he was right because he's not. He's wrong. Price gouging does break the golden rule.
Do you really think you can wound me, a god, with that primitive weapon?
Let's find out, shall we?
Pathetic.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Okay, let's try it. And doesn't work. Charon, can you help me? Charon is terrified. I should try talking to him later. Okay, I don't want to do the thing with Proserpina yet because I'm not done with the conversation. That's funny. He's too prideful to admit being wrong in a debate. I'm gonna have to go through all of that again. Thankfully, I can skip it in editing so you guys won't have to sit through it.
And here, allow me to introduce... No,
Alright, let's see. What about suicide?
I've seen no such thing, but in any case, taking one's own life is a self-directed act. It is
Fair
not
enough.
one that is done to others, however they may be affected by it.
True.
Therefore, it cannot be said that one who commits suicide has done anything unto others.
Well, you're inflicting sadness to them, which you would not want inflicted upon you, right? That seems like an extremely literal interpretation of the rule.
Applying this rule always requires us to interpret the meaning of the words. It literal interpretation helps to minimize the ambiguities of your primitive language.
If our language is full of ambiguity, doesn't that make the rule inherently subjective and unreliable?
Supposing...
Of course not, never mind.
Now tell me.
Price gouging for life-saving medicine? I disagree.
Now tell me.
So what's the point of telling him all these things? Okay, so suicide is like, that doesn't affect others, that's only something that affects you. Fair enough. He believes that Decius would not mind if, like, he was being price gouged, which of course I disagree with, but alright. What about a scam?
Ah, the tavern keeper, yes? How is that inconsistent with the rule?
I'm trying to prove that you're being inconsistent, but even if I manage to convince him, he's just gonna say, well then, you guys broke the rules and I'm just going to turn you to gold right now. So like, it doesn't make him admit that he was wrong. She wouldn't want someone else to sell her hemlock if she thought she was buying a means of escape.
I disagree. Having watched that tavern keeper, that is precisely what she would expect from others. She would view it as a game, one she intends to win.
That's speculating.
Applying this rule always requires... Not if we're one. Now tell me.
What about debt bondage?
You speak of the moneylender. How is that inconsistent with the rule?
He wouldn't want to be trapped in a 30-year labor contract because of a loan.
And he would never have signed a contract pledging his labor for 30 years. All he did was enforce the terms of a contract signed voluntarily by others.
The whole concept of debt bondage, like slavery, is unethical. It's illegal under international law where I'm from.
Ignoring your irritating sense of moral superiority. This is interesting.
Really?
I'm curious. How do people escape poverty?
So I'm talking to him right now, still like 2,000 years in the past, right? Like I'm still someone from the future. So the Earth, as he oversees it, is the Earth from 2,000 years ago. So like my sense of morality from the future. And of course, in the future, we think our sense of morality is probably better than the one from 2,000 years ago. Basically, we've had a lot more time to think about these things. So maybe like our ideas would be a little bit more refined, but it's customary to take out a loan to buy a house and in some places to pay for an education.
I see. And how long might it take such a person to repay their debt?
Depends, typically decades, sometimes they're... Okay, I'm not really helping myself here.
I fail to see how your system of loans is significantly different to a debt bondsman signing over his labor for 30 years.
Are you exploited by the banks for taking out a loan the same way you would be by Malleolus and what he's doing? The bank is not going to force you to clean their house naked like he was doing with Yulia. So it's not exactly the same thing. Alright. I see there's no convincing you. Experiments on the golden statues?
The midwife in the palace, yes. How is that inconsistent with the rule?
She wouldn't want to be experimented upon if she was gilded.
The rule is do unto others, meaning other people. Those statues are something else now. Bloodless shadows, mere shapes of their former selves. They are forsaken. What happens to them is no concern.
Yeah, he doesn't care. I see.
Now tell me, what
about abduction?
Abduction? You mean the magistrate imprisoning his daughter in his system?
Yeah.
He did so because she sought to escape. A sin I take particularly seriously.
How is escaping a sin?
Better that he stops her from escaping, albeit brutishly, and I have to wipe out this entire city to punish her. Wouldn't you agree?
Why would escaping be a sin? I disagree.
Now
it's no wonder people say the gods are cruel. This just shows how unreliable and subjective your moral code is. You're no better at judging right from wrong than any human.
Do you honestly think you could do better?
No, but that's my point. Nobody's grasp of right and wrong is so perfect they can be trusted with all this power. You've become a tyrant.
I should strike you down for that.
And if you did, you'd be proving my point.
Now, did you have any other questions before your reckoning? Very well.
And that's all the questions I had.
Good. Then now it is time for your reckoning. Only, it seems, something is wrong. It has long been within my power to see into the hearts of mortals and weigh their deeds in life. But when I peer into you, I see only a blank slate, as if you did not exist until you appeared in this city. How is this possible? Charon, where did you find this one?
I do not remember ferrying you. How did you come here?
Oh, because this is the Charon from the past. So she doesn't remember me. How come Proserpina has powers to bring people from the future? Like, why does she have control over time? That's crazy. I'm from the future.
If that is true, then I sense the intervention of someone powerful.
How did you come to be in this time, mortal? Who brought you here?
We cannot know.
I was hoping you could tell me.
I do not know. My kin departed long ago, and Proserpina has slumbered for 3,000
Why does
years.
Proserpina not want him to know? Shouldn't you know this as the god of the Underworld?
Tread lightly, mortal.
Sorry.
Enough of this. It seems I will need to put your reckoning on hold.
Interesting.
But answer this. Why have you come here? What is it you seek?
I just want to get out of here. I'm here to kill you. Okay, so you can use either the wooden bow or the golden bow. That would be very stupid. I would like you to put an end to the golden rule.
Your hubris is amusing, so I will allow you to make your case. But I warn you, if you anger me or waste my time with lies or long-headed arguments, you face death here. So, tell me, why should I put an end to the so-called Golden Rule?
If you're doing this for love, you should know that Proserpina doesn't love you. That will anger him for sure. How can you expect us to live without sin if you can't do it yourself? That's true. The Golden Rule is corrupting the city and ensuring you'll never win the wager. That's also true. It kind of goes back to what the philosopher was talking about, right? If you live under a tyranny, to be fair, I don't think even without the Golden Rule, people would go a whole year without sin. You know, that's just, it's not possible. Like, truth be told, mankind does not deserve to go to Elysium. Like, we are a bunch of fuck-ups. And, like, we do sin, we do lie, we steal. Like, the only way you could have won your wager is if you'd taught people from when they were babies in the ways of the gods. And, like, even then, I don't know. It's nature versus nurture, right? So, I don't know. Like, could you teach a community of humans to be truly pure, truly like completely moral and like never do anything wrong, at least not according to this rule? Could you do it? I think maybe. Like, we'll never know because we're born into a world of like billions of individuals and like our society is too complex to really account for like everyone's actions and everyone's different moral codes. But if you had a very small community, I think it might be possible. But I don't know. I think it's not a natural state of things for sure. I don't know if you could teach people, even if you do it from the time they're babies, like could you teach them to live their lives in a completely pure way? Like, can you teach morality to that extreme amount where like someone doesn't just feel like, well, what if I break it? Like, just to try, like just because I'm curious, or like just because I want more than the others, or like just because I'm angry, or, you know. He probably believes he's living according to his own rule. So I think the Golden Rule is causing the problem.
How so? And be specific. You have made a grave allegation, and I expect you to back it up.
Decius is price gouging for life-saving medicine because he knows nobody can take it by force. Rufus has become so paranoid that he's jumping at shadows, all of these. Aurelia is exploiting people's desperation to escape by selling them hemlock.
True. I have witnessed him doing that.
Okay, these are all examples, I think.
I admit, I have grown disturbed watching him. He is a volatile and confused fellow, that one. His cruelty does seem to grow greater by the day. If you're right, my involvement has corrupted the very thing I sought to observe impartially.
I don't think the result would be much different without it, but...
Are you telling me these humans could coexist peacefully, without theft or violence, without my law?
He probably wants to hear yes. Would these humans coexist peacefully without theft or violence? No, but humans need to be able to use force in exceptional circumstances to correct their societies. You kind of have to, right? If you're going to live in a community, you kind of don't have a choice but to punish people if they do something that harms the community. But I don't know if that's what he wants to hear.
How so?
We use violence to discourage bad behavior, to neutralize criminals and overthrow tyrants.
And how is that working for you?
Not great. Where I'm from, 2,000 years in the future, it's working pretty well. On average, life expectancies are climbing and crime rates are declining. I guess that's true. Like, it's not a perfect society, but it's better. Like, people are still doing a lot of fucked up shit to each other, though, so I don't know.
So you say, and yet your world is still imperfect.
It's getting better all the time. One day we'll get there. Our world will always be imperfect, but the kind of force required to create a utopia will inevitably result in tyranny.
You have spoken eloquently, and yet, if what you say is true, it follows that my wager was fatally flawed from the beginning. But that would mean Jupiter, Preservator's father, who knew more about you than anyone, proposed a wager I could never win. Why would he do that?
Perhaps he made a mistake. Perhaps he wanted you to abandon the wager so Proserpina would be free from you. Perhaps he felt threatened by you and didn't want a potential challenger in Elysium. Perhaps he left you behind because even your own kin didn't want you. I think these three will potentially anger him. It's possible he made a mistake.
A mistake? But he is the best and greatest of us.
You're no better than us, you're a monster on a power trip. Perhaps when you took on human form, you took on some human foibles as well.
Your words sting me, mortal. But perhaps it is what I deserve. As difficult as this is to admit, I have suspected as much for a long time now. And I cannot deny it any longer. I've been so fixated on taking my beloved to Elysium that every time one of you sinned, it wore away my hope of being with her again. In time, I began to despise your kind for making her believe that you could ever be better than you are. But my rage was not born of malice. Quite the opposite.
Classic mistake.
Everything I have done, I did because I loved her. Who knew this empathy of yours, which you celebrate so much, could have such a dark underside?
Are you saying we came up with empathy?
It is time for me to let go of this form, of her, of all of you. But know this, if I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend.
That's fine. We don't deserve it. We just want to return to the world.
Very well. I will have Charon make arrangements to ferry the others. But as for you, be aware you will be separated from the rest.
That's okay. Why?
Once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have taken place. and you will have created a paradox. What will become of you is difficult to predict, but that is the risk you have taken by interfering in the natural flow
Fair
of
enough.
time. Now, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Farewell, mortal.
Persuade the god of the underworld to abolish the golden rule. Wow. Got an achievement for getting through every conversation. Back with Al. No golden statues anywhere. In theory, no Karen either, right?
Oh. Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
I came in here to find you.
Here I am. Know who you are. I barely remember how I got here myself. Oh, did that lady in the forest send you in here after me? I guess I lost track of time, learning about the history of this place, and it is extraordinary. I'm fairly certain you and I are the first people to set foot in this city for about 2,000 years. Fortunately for us, the last person in here was a Roman man named Galerius, who inscribed an account into a tablet. Apparently, there was a community of 20-something people trapped in here, and living in fear of a curse they called the Golden
So it
Rule.
still happened.
They believed that if even one person sinned, an unknown god would cast them all into gold, like the 1,000 people who'd lived here before them. Then, one day, just as Galerius had finished praying for a good harvest at the shrine of Proserpina, an oracle appeared and told him how to solve the ills of the city, like saving the life of a dying woman, preventing the suicide of a man in debt bondage, and so on. Meanwhile, the oracle walked up to the temple of the mysterious god, this one right here,
So this all still
and
happened.
demanded an audience. And the doors just opened up to him. Nobody knows what went on in there, but Galerius wrote the oracle must have been more persuasive than Odysseus, because the next thing he knew, the ground shook and the voice of that god rang out over the city. The many have
suffered long enough.
Unfortunately, Galerius' account just sort of stops after that,
Hmm.
leaving a lot of questions unanswered. What became of him and the other people who lived here? What happened to all the golden statues? And did this mysterious oracle single-handedly undo the curse that had terrorized people for hundreds of years?
These Romans are crazy. Should we just be honest and say it's me? Sounds a bit far-fetched, doesn't it? Actually, that was me.
What? Oh, I see. For a moment there, I thought you were serious.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, I think I found a way out through the aqueduct that brought water into the city. Follow me.
Right behind you. So in this timeline, so I guess after all the people we made in this game succumbed to the golden rule, more people kept coming in, like in the years after that, and then the spaceship stayed in space, and Karen kept doing her job even though like these coins were getting really rare now, and like the only two left were the ones of me and Al. So they'd been like just waiting and waiting all this time for the last few people to, like, they must have been bored out of their mind because like they were just waiting for the last two. Were they really so obsessive that they had to wait for the final two to get to the city? Like, what if it was just me and Al, and then we would just have to not commit a sin for a full year? Like, we probably would have done it if it was just him and me. So if truly Charon had simply sent me and Al down in the city, we probably would have succeeded, because it's much easier with just two people not to break the rule than it is with like a whole community. But we couldn't because slightly before me, Al went in the city, found this portal that Sentius created, was sent back to the past, and then because he just kept going through the loop and couldn't figure out how to break it, fucking casual Al, by the way, that was very easy to do. But no, he couldn't do it because he didn't want to break his moral code. And so he couldn't break it, just decided to hang himself, and then that's why we found him as an old man in the future. But like after waiting these 2,000 years, finally we would have succeeded in lasting a full year, maybe. And then like he could have freed Proserpina and... But why did Proserpina choose to create this time portal? Send us to the past. I guess maybe it's because she envisioned that things would happen like this. Like she has some control over time, so maybe like she saw the future, or rather the past future. It's a little strange, but it's also strange how like in this game when they cancel out the events,
for a moment and you go on.
Like they still happened. Even if you create the paradox that makes it so you never go there, like the events still happened in the past. It's strange. Charon, you get to go back to Elysium, I think?
You're back! But...
Wait, if he cancelled the Golden Rule all the way back 2,000 years ago, why are you still here? You didn't go with them?
Ah, what a relief. Why don't you tell me what you discovered?
I discovered you're not who you said you were. I remember meeting you 2,000 years ago.
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions.
Wait, I thought... So did he erase my memory or no? No, because I still know this is Charon.
You can just call me Charon, if you like. I am sorry I was not completely honest with you when we first met. I see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. And there was a tablet describing an oracle who confronted a god and undid an ancient curse.
Sounds like quite a story. And I look forward to hearing all about it. But... you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
Ending 4, let's go. One year later. Oh. Private member wing. Currently exhibiting ancient Rome, ancient Greece, ancient Egypt, Sumer. Or at the museum.
Hey, you made it. It's great to see you again. I read your book, and what the critics said about it. I guess they weren't ready for your theories about the Underworld. Anyway, after everything you've been through, I thought you might appreciate some good news. So after we got back to the real world, I started doing some research into the people mentioned in Galerius's tablet, and I found something strange. I'm sorry I've been so cryptic. I've been dying to tell you, I just really wanted you to see this for yourself. Why don't you head on down there? I'll catch up with you at the other end.
Where is this going? An ancient Roman statue of an unknown man in an inscrutable pose. One hand seems to welcome, the other warns. Are these gonna be the people from the past? They're all here. Oh my god. Wait, why would he send them to the future though? Salve, friend.
You're finally here. Remember me?
Wait, so you remember me? Galerius, what are you doing here?
It's a crazy story. After you disappeared, Charon appeared and told us she was returning us to the world. Even gave us some coins to help us start our lives over. Only, for some reason, she returned us to your world instead of ours. Anyway, I know we only ever had that one conversation, and I wasn't even sure if you'd remember me, but I wanted to say thanks for freeing us from the Underworld and giving us a second chance at life.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
Oh, I used Charon's gift to buy a farm in Umbria. Got a villa on it too, with enough room for Dooley, of course. It's hard work, but I sleep soundly every night. I'm finally my own man, and I I wouldn't change it for the world.
Does that mean Sentius was sent here too? You're with Equidia now.
I know. I can't believe my luck either.
Hey.
But we're engaged and living together. We're planning to get married next spring. If you're going to be around, we'd love to see you there.
Sure. I'd love that. Count me in. We'll see. It was good to see you again, Galerius.
Of course. There's a whole museum full of people waiting for a chance to thank you. So you better keep moving. We'll speak again soon, my friend.
Wow. They're all wearing modern clothing too. Oh man, is fucking Sentius gonna be here?
There he is.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. Equidia!
Here. It's so wonderful to see you again.
So did they magically make it so you guys speak English, or like, good to see you too, Equidia?
So, you're the hero who somehow vanquished the last of the Roman gods. As I'm a priestess, you realize you've put me out of work. I'm just teasing. Actually, and it still feels a little sacrilegious to say this, I'm finding life after religion quite enjoyable.
It would be very confusing for them to be transported to the future like this. Like, that's gonna be a shock. Not to mention, they would probably catch like some virus and just die instantly. What are you doing with yourself these days?
Galerius and I are engaged and expecting.
Oh.
We've just bought a lovely villa in the countryside with room for a large family. And Dooley too, of course.
That's nice.
It feels like the world has just opened up for us. There's so much to learn, and so many more possibilities for our children than we ever imagined. We're just so thankful for what you did for us. For all of us.
How's Livia?
Oh, it's sweet of you to ask. She recovered nicely. In fact, she's here somewhere, if you'd like to ask her yourself.
I'll do that. It was good to see you again.
See you at the wedding, I hope.
Hey, Dooley. Your little speed bag there.
Hello, I'm Dooley.
I remember who you are, Dooley.
Galerius said you're very nice and a big helper. Thank you for getting us out of the bad place.
It was the bad place. What are you doing with yourself these days?
I live at Galerius and Equitia's house. They look after me now and help me remember when I forget things.
That's very generous of them.
My teeth.
I'm sorry you never found your treasure.
Treasure? Oh, I forgot about that. I like my box now. Galerius got me a box that tells stories. It's my favourite thing.
Like an audiobook? Story boxes are great, aren't they?
Yeah, they're fun.
Or like, did you get a Nintendo Switch? It was good to see you again, Dooley.
Bye-bye.
All these people. Yulia.
You're the Oracle, right?
I never talked to her in that run. Lukael is fine.
Oh, of course. Sorry. And I never got a chance to thank you for telling Galerius how to save my life.
Wait, no, in that last run, I saved her.
Getting me and all of us out of a terrible situation.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
Oh, I barely recognize myself. I'm living in a house share in London with my wonderful girlfriend. And I'm studying English at university. Eventually, I want to travel the world and write about it.
Wow.
Turns out, it's about 30 times bigger than the Roman Empire ever was. Did you
They're
know
adjusting
there are
much easier than I
entire
thought.
Rome never knew existed. And you can travel almost anywhere in an aircraft, which is rather like flying on a Pegasus, but much more comfortable. Oh, sorry, you already know all that, of course. I'm just so excited. There's so much to see and learn and write about.
This is fun. It's nice to see them so excited about being to the future. Like, they're adjusting a little too easily, maybe. Like, I don't know how long they've had to kind of get used to this new life, but seeing the world through fresh eyes sounds wonderful.
I have noticed people from your time have no idea how fortunate they are.
Yeah, we tend to
I hope to
forget.
change that. One day.
We do have it pretty good now, don't we? Whatever happened to Malleolus and Claudia?
Last I heard, Malleolus kept insisting he was the last rightful ruler of the
Whoops.
Roman Empire.
and wound up being committed to a psychiatric hospital.
So he's not
As for
here.
Claudia, she was always so viciously unhappy. Someone said she'd blown all her money on wine, trying to drink herself back to the Underworld.
Oops.
After the horrific way they treated Ulpius and me, I can't help feeling a sense of... what's that German word? Schadenfreude?
Well... I mean, we have to try and do better than them, right? But I think you're allowed to feel that way.
Thank you. You're very kind.
And what happened to Aurelia?
Ugh. Someone told me she was boasting about getting her claws into some rich prince, and how she was going to be living the high life from now on. Even in your time, life still isn't fair. Apparently he'd proposed before they'd even met. And last I heard, she'd bought herself a first-class one-way ticket to join him in some exotic place called... what was it? Nigeria? Some people have all the luck.
Oh no. As the Oracle, I foresee terrible disappointment in her future.
Really? Huh. I feel better already.
Oh no.
Thank you.
Of course they would be... They would all fall prey to scams so easily. Oh no. It is a bit on the nose that like all the bad people got a bad fate and like all the nice people just live this wonderful, perfect life. But you know, it is what it is. It was good to see you again.
You too. If you're ever in London, let me know. We can go to bars and drink wine and listen to the stories of the 9 million people who live there.
I'll take you up on that.
I hope so.
I probably won't, but you know. Lucrecia.
Long time no see.
Hey, Lucrecia.
Lucy is fine. I'm making an effort to blend in, as you can see. We are all trying to keep a low profile.
Yeah, good idea.
If the world knew we died 2,000 years ago and were suddenly brought back to life 12 months ago, they'd never leave us alone. Speaking of which, I wanted to say thank you in person. I'd say the gods smile on you, but I hear you drove the last of them off. So...
There might be other gods out there. What are you doing with yourself these days?
I'm studying to get into medical school. As much as I resented the responsibility of keeping everyone in the city alive, when it ended, I realized I missed it. So I guess I'll just keep saving the world, if begrudgingly, one patient at a time.
You're going to find out that medicine is a lot different today than it was in your time. It was good to see you.
You too. Don't be a stranger.
Would Navia be out here too? I wonder if she got saved. It's Sentilla, Horatius.
Hi there, I'm Horatius.
Alright, I never did talk to him in that run.
I understand we have you to thank for giving us a second chance at life. And reuniting Sentilla with us as well. So, thank you.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
I'm living up north and studying in the military academy in Modena. I'm going to be an officer one day. The world's changed a lot. But some things stay the same. Would you believe we're still studying military tactics from my time? Alexander the Great, Caesar, Hannibal Barca. Still, I have to keep challenging myself to let go of old ways of thinking and embrace the new. As Seneca wrote, the ones who pioneered our paths aren't our masters, but our guides.
I'm sorry you never got to see your girl again.
Ah, you remembered that. Thank you. I grieved for a time, but that's done. In the words of Epictetus, as those who rode behind triumphant generals remind them they are mortal, remind yourself your precious one isn't one of your possessions, but something given for now, not forever.
Yep, a lot of men need to hear this. Well said. I'm glad you're coping. Well said.
Thanks.
Whatever happened to your buddy Domitius?
He's not my... Oh, I see what you did there. Good one. He had more trouble adapting than most. He got himself disqualified from the UFC. So he started some kind of...
Oh no, Domitius.
Like we had in Rome.
Domitius was in the
Suppose it appealed to
UFC.
people's baser instincts. And they say he made some good coin, killing a bunch of men like that.
Ugh.
But his luck finally ran out. And his life along with it.
Damn.
You know what they say. Live by the sword, die by the sword.
That must have made for some crazy news. That's a shame.
Perhaps.
Well, it was good to see you again, Horatius.
And you. Farewell.
Damn, so he actually went in the UFC. That's crazy. Hey, Sentilla.
I take it you're the Oracle. Thanks for coming.
If I see fucking Sentius here, good to see you again.
Actually, I changed my name to Cynthia. I didn't want to be associated with Sentius. After
Wait,
what
so
happened.
you know what he did?
I'm not sure if you heard, but after you drove Pluto off, Proserpina emerged from the Great Temple.
Really?
She knew right away what none of us had figured out about that psychopath.
Oh, so that's why you
He'd
know.
been keeping my little sister locked up in the upper cistern
Yeah.
all that time.
How did
But
Proserpina
he's
come out
been
of her
dealt with.
cage?
He's... you know what? The important thing is we'll never see him again.
What happened to him? What happened to Sentius?
He's still there, all alone. The last golden statue in the Underworld.
Oh no.
Trapped in a metal shell, slowly losing his mind until the end of time.
Damn, that's kind of
Eternal
cruel.
torment. Just what he deserves, if you ask me.
I mean, that seems a little harsh. Like, yeah, he was an asshole and like he wanted to live forever and he was ready to kind of have other people suffer, but it seems a little excessive. Like, eternal torment is a bit much. It seems a bit excessive, don't you think?
Yeah, I try not to think about him at all.
Jeez, that was your father. Like, that's your actual father, too. What are you doing with yourself these days?
Anything I want. I'm a woman of means in a vast new world. I can go wherever and do whatever I please. Of course, I mostly just stay in my villa and have my servant Alexa summon things for me, because it's just awful out there. Barbarians everywhere.
Yeah, you would think that. I guess it was good to see you again.
You too. See you around.
Huh. How fascinating to get a follow-up on all these characters.
Magnificent museum, is it not?
Hey, Georgius.
Greetings. You must be the legendary Oracle. It is a sincere privilege to finally make your acquaintance. I am Georgius.
Did you all, like, organize to come visit the museum at the very same time? Good to see you too, Georgius.
I am told we have you to thank for freeing us from Hades, and for that, I am most grateful.
What happened to Fabia? Fabia, right? She was the girl running from the bats.
Ah, the poor sweet thing. Perished in a shrine collapse before the rest of us were saved. It is the one regret I have in all this.
Oh! Right, when I went to save everyone, I think I forgot about her. Shit. Oh, I'm gonna have to, like, reload an old save and do that before confronting Pluto. I think I forgot about her. Shit. I wish I'd saved her.
My friend, there is no need for you to apologize. You have done more than enough.
I forgot about the assassin. What are you doing with yourself these days?
I am reacquainting myself with Greece. It has changed so much over the last 2,000 years, I
Not just
barely
Greece.
recognize it. This is at once heartbreaking and thrilling. Perhaps one day, once I have seen all of this new Greece and sampled her delights, I will settle down in Santorini in a villa overlooking the Azure Aegean Sea. I hope you will join me there and regale me with the story of how you faced off against the fearsome god of the Underworld and won.
I hope you have a lot of money, because that sounds like an expensive place to buy. Consider me there. Good to see you.
You too, my friend.
Ah, that sucks that I didn't save one of them. Damn. It's the philosopher. You made it out too.
I take it you're the oracle everybody's talking about. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
We've met before, though I wouldn't expect you to remember it.
We have. I'm sorry, I don't remember. In any case, I'm Philip. I never thought I'd leave that cave, let alone the city. And now I'm living in the 21st century. What a time to be alive. And it seems I have your catabasis to thank for it.
And now you get to debate as much as you want. Just make a Twitter account. What are you doing with yourself these days?
I'm working as a consultant to the Faculty of Classics at Cambridge University, helping fill the odd gap in their knowledge. Not that I need the money, but I do love being around enlightened minds again.
That sounds nice. It was good to see you.
My sincere thanks once again.
I'm glad you made it out.
Some soiree, innit?
That's fucking Decius. Decius, can't you fucking read? Keep off the furniture. Even clean hands can damage the fragile surfaces of these rare pieces. Of all the dicks, it seems like you're the only one that made it out.
Oh, hello at last. You must be the oracle I've heard so much about. I'm Decius.
Hi, Decius.
Listen, I wanted to express my sincere appreciation for what you did. If it wasn't for you, I'd never been able to sell all those useless old relics I accumulated. Whatever you did in that temple made me a very wealthy man. Thank you.
No need to thank me, it was entirely unintended.
Such acerbic wit. I love it.
So, what are you doing these days?
I took the money I made from selling my trinkets and started investing in the stock market. That's where the real money is
Wow,
now.
you really adjusted
In
quickly.
fact, I was hoping to ask your advice, you being the oracle and future seer and all that, on which stocks I should invest in next. I can't decide between fossil fuels, tobacco, gambling and arms. What would you recommend?
I can't really see the future, I'm afraid.
Oh, don't be like that. You can tell your old pal Decius. I won't take no for an answer.
You can only lie to him. I love that they don't even give you a chance to say the truth. DVD rentals have a bright future. Broadcast television is going to be the next big thing. Print media is going to make a huge comeback. I mean, out of all of these, probably DVD rentals is the only one that's never gonna come back, but...
Oh, of course, yeah. I was just thinking the same thing. I'll go home and buy up as much stock as I can tonight. I'm gonna make a bloody fortune.
Yeah, you want to look into something called Blockbuster and really like buy as much as you can. I'll be going now. You don't even tell him that you're happy to see
Of course,
him.
don't let me keep you. Thanks again for the tips, my friend.
That's funny. They were like, I guess he's not bad enough where we want to give him like a horrible fate, but we're still gonna give you a chance to fuck with him.
Good evening.
Octavia and Livia. Oh, Livia.
Hello there.
You seem much better.
Greetings.
Good to see you looking well, Livia.
Thank you for your kind words and for liberating us all.
I see you found a hairbrush.
In all the time I was in the Underworld, I never once imagined that I might end up in a place so much like Elysium.
It is pretty nice, isn't it? What are you doing with yourself these days?
I'm recovering. Octavia was kind enough to let me stay with her for a while. At least until I'm well enough to be independent again. She still talks wistfully of you.
Really? I didn't know Octavia was into me. Read any good poems lately?
Ah, you remember that. I'm a little tired of Ovid, but that's all right. I have 2,000 years worth of poetry to catch up on now.
Yeah, good luck with
I'm
that.
already up to the 19th century.
There's
and
no
am
way.
Quite enjoying the work of a fellow named Poe.
Oh, of course you
I
would.
think I may have found a kindred spirit. Men have called me mad, but the question is not yet settled whether madness is or is not the loftiest intelligence.
Perhaps you're right. It was good to see you again.
And you. Farewell, friend.
So Octavia, apparently I've been on your mind?
You're here. It's so lovely to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
I'm thankful that you're here. I was sure the person who drove off the last pagan god would have more important things to do than visit the likes of us. But thank you for coming and for saving our lives. What you did was extraordinary, and I'll never forget it.
So what are you doing with yourself these days?
I'm living in Rome again, in a charming little flat by the Tiber. Not far from my old place.
Oh wow, that must be crazy. Like
and
living actually in the
I'm
same
training to be a
place.
crisis counselor. Watching you persuade Ulpius not to take his
Oh.
own life inspired me.
That's really nice.
I just want to spend the rest of my life helping people. like you helped him.
That's admirable. Sounds like a noble cause. Good for you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Well, it was good to see you again.
And you. Oh, and I hope this isn't too forward, but some of us are going out for a drink after this, if you'd like to join us.
Sounds good. I'm in.
Wonderful. I'll see you soon.
Hmm. It's Kabash. Kabash made it out too. A statue of Kurthi, the Egyptian ram-headed deity believed by the Egyptians to ferry the deceased to the underworld. He is associated with death and Osiris, the god of the underworld. This must be the man in the ram headdress who Kabash saw when he awoke by the river. Hey, man.
It is an honor to finally meet
Interesting
you,
jacket.
Oracle.
Thanks, Kabash.
You know my name? Oh, of course. You are an oracle. You know many things. I too would like to offer my thanks for releasing us from that place and for your role in bringing us here. This world is truly wondrous.
I'm glad they are all so positive about it. What are you doing with yourself these days?
For a time, I returned to Alexandria, but they have no need of another fisherman. And I came to see there is nothing for me there. Instead, I have decided to follow the custom of your youths and backpack the world. It is a great adventure, and I have met many people from many cultures. I spent the first 25 years of my life avoiding the 42 sins that would deny me access to the afterlife. Now, I think it is time I had some fun.
Sure. Sounds like you've earned it.
Indeed.
Well, good to see you.
Thank you, Oracle.
I guess, like... I have to assume their dialogues would maybe be different if you'd actually talk to them, like, before going and talking to Hades, Pluto. Because, like, some of them act like you've never talked before, some of them act like you have talked to them. So, I don't know. It's Sentilla!
Hello there.
Hello, Sentilla.
Oh, I go by Gabriella now.
Oh.
I didn't want to be reminded of that monster every
Yeah,
time
good
I
call.
heard my own name. After you drove Pluto off, Proserpina came and released me, and that monster got what was coming to him.
Yeah, I heard. I'm sorry, I had no idea. Sounds like you got what you deserved. What are you doing these days?
I'm living with Ulpius on a little vineyard in Umbria. It's even more wonderful than I dreamed it would be. I'm so grateful to you for making sure he's still with us. If you're ever passing through the region, I hope you'll come and visit us. You can try some of our very own wine.
Wine's disgusting, but thanks. It was good to see you again, Gabriella.
Thanks. You too.
Hey, good for you, Ulpius.
Good to see you under better circumstances than last time.
Good to see you too.
I wanted to thank you for saving my life and getting us all out of there. The way you just showed up out of the blue and stopped me from making a terrible mistake. I'll be forever in your debt.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
I'm living with Gabriella in Umbria. We finally bought the little vineyard we always dreamed of. It'll be a little while before we know what we're doing, but every day I look at her and this extraordinary new world with all its beauty, and I think, what if I'd given up hope and missed out on
You
all
sure
of
almost
this?
missed out on some
So
crazy
we're living
stuff.
each day to the fullest, and we end them all the same way.
Thanking me.
Sitting together on our terrace with a glass of our wine, which the locals say is almost drinkable now, and watching the sunset
Almost.
over the rolling hillside. And I couldn't be happier.
That's awesome, dude. I'm glad you're happy.
Thank you. I wouldn't be here without you.
Good to see you.
You too.
And look at that, Virgil and Rufus. Are you guys together now?
It's so nice to finally meet you. I've heard so much about you.
I never talked to you. Good to see you.
I wanted to thank you personally for getting us out of there. And for helping Rufus come to terms with himself.
Rufus.
He may come off a little gruff, but once you get past that, he's a lovely fellow.
What are you doing these days?
I'm studying to be an architect again, and living with Rufus in a beautiful flat in Rotterdam.
So you are together.
Just down the river from Nijmegen, where I grew up. Of course, it's improved immensely since I was there last. Gleaming futuristic buildings and clean streets full of educated, accepting people. You natives of the 21st century have no idea how fortunate you are.
Yeah, we are. You know, there's still... I mean, you're still gonna run into some homophobes, but hopefully fewer than back in your day, I hope. I don't know, it's kind of getting bad again these days, but hopefully that stops soon. Good to see you again.
You too. If you're ever in the Netherlands, we'd love to show you around. It's the least we could do.
I've got a lot of traveling to do. I may take you up on that. A lot of people want me to go and visit them. Hey, Rufus.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I go by Rufus now. New start, new name. Oh, and thanks, by the way, for showing me how to treat my rheumatism.
No problem.
I probably would have lost my mind if it wasn't for that willow bark. Although I think your people have a different name for it. Aspirin.
Is that all it is? Oh, God.
Thank you.
He's like...
Sorry, I'm no good with the mushy stuff.
Yeah, that's alright. There's like too many people saying thanks to me. It's probably for the best. He's like, dude, I've heard about this penicillin stuff. That's fucking awesome. What are you doing with yourself these days?
I live with Virgil in Rotterdam, not far from where he grew up. It's very modern. Destroyed in the war.
Been a lot of wars since your time.
Rebuilt itself. Good place for a fresh start. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with my life yet. One adjustment at a time.
Yeah, it's a big adjustment, so take your time. Turns out you were right. The statues really were watching us.
Good to know. Anyway, it was good practice for the new world. Security cameras and smartphones everywhere.
Yeah.
Got to stay vigilant.
That is unfortunately true. Yeah. Good to see you.
Too. Look us up next time you're in the Netherlands. We're grateful.
Oh man, it really sucks that I wasn't able to save Fabia. I think she's like the only one. So Aurelia is gone. Claudia is gone. This is there. Domitius is dead. Fabia died. I could have saved her, but I forgot. A Latin plaque which reads, "All must walk this path to where the laws of day help the virtuous to paradise in this city beneath the earth. The ravenous hunger of the avaricious is sated at the banks of the stream, but in vain, for none from here may return." This block of wood has an ichthys carved into it, a Greek symbol adopted by early Christians as a secret symbol of their faith. This must be... Imagine how weird it would be for them to see all this stuff like in museums. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. I guess that must be Al. Nergal, the fierce one. In the shape of a suitcase, we'll probably never know what this was for. The sins of the one shall become the suffering of the many. Hades, Lord of Many. Oh, thank God for no Sentius.
There you are. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, there's one more person I wanted to introduce you to. I think you know her.
Proserpina?
Sorry if I frightened you. Just a little joke I've been saving for a long, long time.
I recognize that
Allow me
voice.
to introduce myself properly. I am Proserpina, former goddess of the cycle of life and renewal.
So you decided to stay
Now,
here.
A regular mortal. I wanted to meet you in person, and thank you for freeing all these people, and me. I hate to think what would have happened to us without your intervention.
So you were whispering to me all along.
Indeed. Suffice it to say that while Pluto was controlling the eyes and ears of each golden statue, I was able to control their tongues and whisper to you when he was distracted. I am sorry my messages were so cryptic. There were only ever brief windows in which I could speak to you without being detected.
You did what you could, thank you. So you created the time loop?
I did. I may have given up my immortality, but I still retain my gifts as the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. After witnessing Pluto punish countless poor souls over thousands of years, I knew this generation, the final wave, would not survive. So I tried to give them a way to buy more time. A second chance. Rather, as many second chances as they needed to avoid his wrath. So I whispered to Sentius in secret, telling him that prayer
Why did you tell
required to create a
Sentius?
portal in my shrine. I knew the danger of humans being corrupted by godly power, and so I put a safeguard in place. I required the creator of the portal to sacrifice their own life, so that it could only be used selflessly to help others. What I did not anticipate is that Sentius would retain his accumulated memories from each previous day. And as a veteran soldier, he had long since
So
shed
you
his fear
didn't
of
know he would
death.
retain his
He quickly
memories?
discovered that he could, in effect, prolong his own life indefinitely by exploiting the cycle. Of course, once I had taught him the prayer, I could not unteach him. And there was little I could do but wait for someone like you to come along and see him for what he was. We were all fortunate you came along when you did.
What became of
I
Pluto?
don't know what happened to him. I haven't heard from him, and I rather hope
So
it
you
stays
didn't
that
love
way.
him? What became of Charon?
Oh, she inherited dominion over the Underworld. Last time we spoke, she was working on a new world of some kind. She wouldn't say what it was, but I'd be surprised if you don't run into her again. I imagine we all
That's
will.
some sequel bait, isn't it? You're saying like you're gonna make another game where maybe Charon will return? Okay. It was nice meeting you.
And you. Although it feels like I've known you forever.
Yeah.
Oh, and one last thing. Do you remember all those golden statues scattered throughout the city?
Is that the voices I'm hearing? Like, did you save all these people?
Good. Because they remember you. Well done, my friend.
Oh my
Of all
god.
the heroes who ever journeyed to the Underworld and returned, none came
Okay, that's not
close
a
to
thousand
achieving
people, but still.
Hercules, Orpheus,
The goose is there!
Theseus, and Aeneas would be proud.
Wait, is that my statue? Is that me? Reach ending 4-4. Wow. I saved the goose. What about the goat? Was the goat still there? That is a very nice, complete ending where like they tie they tie up every loose end, like everyone is accounted for. How satisfying. Ending number 4 is crazy, dude. Like they really thought of everything. A message from the developers. We hope you enjoyed The Forgotten City. We'd love to make even better games in the future, and you can help out by recommending The Forgotten City to a friend or writing a review. The more people play our games, the more we can level up. And if you'd like to be the first to know when we announce our new project, please connect with us. Thank you for making this game. Definitely follow their advice and recommend this game to others. Obviously, if you've watched this playthrough, you might have already played it. You might not want to play it for yourself, but you can always recommend it to other people, of course. So this was a great game. Like, it's nothing special in the technical aspect, but it's all in the writing, right? It's a very clever, very intriguing setup. Like, it doesn't delve too deeply into any of these topics. Like, it's still pretty surface level. You know, it's not a very long game, but for what it's worth, I thought it was great. There is one thing I want to do still. When I pulled out the bow in front of Pluto, we could hear Proserpina saying, "Break my cage and take my crown." What happens if you do that? I need to try it out. Pluto, I'm here to kill you.
Why have you come here?
I'm here to kill you.
Do you really think you can wound me, a god, with that primitive weapon?
Break my chamber, seize my crown. Alright, let's see. Let's find out, shall we?
Pathetic. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Wow, she just broke. Okay, follow Sentius back to the shrine. Wait, what? So I took the crown, what now? Rewind time and show Pluto you have Proserpina's crown. Wait, so I have to go all the way back? Okay. Ugh, I don't know if I can make it without dying. How can I rewind time? Or can I rewind time just by using the crown, maybe? Otherwise, like, do I really need to run all the way back to Sentius? That sounds impossible. There's statues the whole way. Maybe I just need to use the crown from my inventory.
And here, the many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
So now I have the crown. Proserpina's crown. Okay. I can't use it. Rewind time and show Pluto you have Proserpina's crown. How do I do that? Can I go through the door? I really have to run? How can I possibly get there without dying? That sounds impossible. It's just zigzag. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up! Ah! Shit, 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 shit! Oh man, I have to get really far. And there's a lot of statues on the way there. Oh, interesting. A lot of them haven't been transformed. Got to zigzag. Got to zigzag. Okay, I think I can do this. We're almost there. So I can rewind time and show him the crown. What is he gonna do? She's still talking to us, so even though I destroyed her, she's still like alive in the statues? Super Looper, loop through time 10 times. Got an achievement. Okay,
Salve, friend. Oh.
Go and save everyone.
All right. I'll
go take care of all that stuff while I go showed the crown to the god of the underworld. Is this like a secret fifth ending? Well, only one way to find out. She's still there. Huh. But she doesn't have... She still has the crown. She still has the crown, so basically I'm just going to reveal her scheme. But no, because she told me to do this. She said break my cage, take my crown. So she wants me to do this.
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself. As you have already known, and what they will first.
See this? It's Proserpina's crown.
I would recognize that anywhere. And yet my beloved still wears hers. What is this? How did you come by it?
I took it from her after I killed her in another timeline.
You vile, despicable creature. Why would you do such a thing? And worse still, boast about it.
I didn't want to kill her, but if you don't put an end to the golden rule, I will do it again. I could do this all day, and the golden rule, or I will. Stares aghast.
You have put me in an impossible position.
You can just threaten him.
If I refuse, you will murder her. And yet, if I agree, I will lose my wager and return to Elysium, humiliated and alone.
Well, what's it going to be?
I do not see that I have a choice in this. Your treachery and savagery have opened my eyes like nothing I have witnessed in 3,000 years. And now you have shown me your species' true colors. And I see that Proserpina is a fool to have ever believed in you at all. This has gone on too long.
Intimidate the creator of the golden rule. I got an achievement.
Of her, of all of you. But know this, if I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend.
Why not?
Because despicable creatures like you have no place there. My king would never allow it.
No Elysium?
The best I can do is return you to the land of the living. I will have Carol make arrangements.
Interesting. So you can either convince him with words, just by having a conversation, or you can threaten him into ending the golden rule. It's crazy that this is Proserpina's plan. Don't make me kill her again.
Enough, foul creature. This is not something I have decided. You see, once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to what will become of you is now.
Let's get this over with.
You had best pray our paths never cross again, mortal.
Wow. I mean, it's a much faster method than like having this conversation, but it's not very satisfying, at least not for me. I would much rather actually convince him. I don't think it counts as like a different ending because you still just convince Pluto to end the golden rule, so like it's still the same ending, but it's pretty funny way to do it.
But, really? Sounds you two.
Sounds.
And you?
Ferry us home. Take me home. 1 year later. I just want to see if Fabia's there. Oh, I got the achievement. Assemble as many people as possible in the museum. So Fabia must be in here somewhere.
Hey.
Oh, there she
Hello.
is.
You're...
That's an interesting
the one
outfit.
we've
That's
been
very
waiting for.
Flintstones-like.
I'm Fabia.
Hi, Fabia.
I wanted to say thanks for sending Galerius to save my life. I don't know how you knew, but I would have been crushed by that shrine for sure.
You're welcome.
I'm just so happy to be here with you and everyone together again, even if it's just for one more night.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
Well, it's not like I have to work with all the silver Charon gave me, so I just do what makes me happy.
Running away and
Mostly
hiding in
that means
shrines.
baking for my friends and looking at memes while binging TV shows in yoga pants.
You should know what memes are
What a
so
time
quickly.
To be alive.
Sounds like a life well spent. Well, I'm just glad you're happy.
Thank you. I really am.
Good to see you.
You too.
Alright, very nice.
Good evening.
And I guess everyone else is just the same, right? It's all the same. Alright, well, that is gonna be it for the Forgotten City. Man, this was really fun. Again, it's a simple game. The mechanics are very simple. It's a simple premise, but it's a lot of fun because it's an intriguing idea. Like, this time loop concept is always really fun to play around with, no matter which game it's in. There's so many fun little things you can do and like fun storytelling ideas that you can use for that. You know, this is a small team, but I really appreciate that they had some consultant for historical accuracy. You know, that stuff is always important. It sounds like they got voice actors of the right nationality to have like the right accent, and so all that attention to detail is a lot of fun. I'm sure there's still like a few small things I didn't try, or like some small side quests I didn't do. Like, I never found out what the golden eggs were for. Maybe you can give them to Domitius to gain access to the villa. I know there's other achievements I haven't gotten. Let me take a look at the achievements. Help Galerius Romance Equidia. I didn't know you could do that. Reach the best ending with the smallest number of loops and 8 more hidden achievements. So there's still some stuff I could do, but for the intents of this playthrough, this will be the finale. So if you're someone who had played this game before, I hope it was fun to watch me go through it and get to experience these twists and turns. And if you hadn't played this game before and you experienced it for the first time through this playthrough, I hope it was fun to follow me along. I hope you will consider recommending it to other people so that they get to experience it as well. I haven't quite decided what the next playthrough on the channel is going to be, so you'll have to tune in next week for a surprise playthrough. So as always, I want to say a big thank you to all of you, a big thank you to all of my patrons for their support, and until next time, I had fun playing this, hope you had fun watching it, and I'll see you in the next video. À la prochaine!